Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Freaky Fast Broadcasting here tonight on Tuesday night for the championship race of the RSR Cup Series here at the Phoenix International Raceway. We got a big night in store for us, but always as first, we must shout out our primary sponsor here at the RSR Cup Series and Evolution Racing Leagues. That is Or Nissan Central, the leading Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in so far. We got a heck of a show here tonight. It should be a blast here at this racetrack. It's always one of those places that puts on a great show, and we got a lot in store for you. But we had a few technical glitches last week, and we need to get a very important message out there to everyone tuning in here tonight, because unfortunately last week, like I said, we had some technical issues that it covered it up, and we just didn't get the audio out there. But we got league owner here, Ryan Ezel, up here in the booth with us, and he's going to go over this really important message to all the fans out there to let them know something they can help out with.
Well, guys, thank y'all for having me on. I appreciate it. It gives us a great platform to talk about the things that are important to us. You know, when we started this league back in early summer, we had a vision and a few guys committed. Never thought in a million years that it would turn out to be 3 series, fully broadcasted, sponsored, and a 97% return rate after 26 weeks of racing of the people wanting to come back the next season. It's turned into more of a family and a brotherhood, people getting together week in and week out and enjoying themselves and having a place to go. One of those guys that's been with us from the get-go, we call him Gonzo, Daniel Gonzalez. Has been with us, races on the Flyboys racing team about a month and a half ago, maybe a little longer. It's a young guy, 24 years old, got a young kid, single father, hard worker, life's going normal, and all of a sudden starts having headaches and some speech issues. Kind of shrugs it off, finally goes to the doctor and gets diagnosed with a brain tumor. We've kind of been helping him out along the way, but he goes into surgery a week from today and then has about a year plus of chemo and radiation treatments to make sure that it stays down and away. Worked for a local small business up there and in the New England area, and he's been hit hard. So he didn't ask for it, but we all came together, 90 plus guys in Evolution Racing Leagues came together and said, what can we do to help? We did a little raffle, donated just straight up, and then created a GoFundMe account to help him. You guys have been gracious enough to put that GoFundMe link in the description right here on this broadcast. And I just want to say, anybody that enjoys sim racing, family guy, just genuinely cares about people, if you want an opportunity to try to help somebody out, especially during the holiday season, Gonzo's a great guy, very prideful, doesn't like asking for help, and he needs our help. Whether he wants to ask for it or not, we're going to be there. The league has stepped up in a huge way, and now we're looking out past the league to our fans, our supporters, people that listen. If you've never listened to one of the broadcasts, you're missing out. Glad you're here. But this is an opportunity to kind of give back to somebody that's going through some tough times. Could have happened to any one of us. And I hate it that it happened, but we're going to be by his side. We're going to support him. And go to that GoFundMe page. It's also on our Facebook page, RSR Racing League. And we've got that link posted there as well. We could sure use your help in trying to help this guy out.
Definitely so there. Thank you, Ryan, for that beautiful message, man. Yeah, we're all with you, Daniel, buddy. Like we said last week, unfortunately, we couldn't get that out there, but we're glad to get this back out there. But Daniel, the RSR league here has become family to us. I mean, this is literally we do this back-to-back nights here now with these guys, and it's just been a blast so far for us. And if anybody out there, we understand if sometimes you can't give out because you're struggling also, but remember, you can also give kind messages and stuff to really make people feel better about the situation there. And Daniel, buddy, we're rooting for you, and we're hoping you the best through the situation, because I hate to see that for anybody, especially a person like Daniel, who's definitely a great guy here at really, like you said, Ryan, a big family and a brotherhood here at RSR.
Oh, absolutely.
And
yeah,
he is. It's amazing to see what you guys have done together to just all come together to give back to him.
Well, we want to take care of our own, and a lot of us have known each other less than a year, but I've made some of the best relationships with my buddies and guy friends all over the country through iRacing. And that's something that is going to be near and dear to me for the rest of my life. I absolutely love doing this. I call it a hobby. My wife calls it an obsession, which she's probably closer to the truth than I am. But, we wanted to make this league just to have a place to go race, but we didn't ever imagine that it would turn out to what it has. And I'm glad it did, because it gives us this platform to do it. And then the best part, you guys coming on board midway through the season. And then I don't know if it's been announced, but, to everybody listening out there, we have already agreed, signed up, and it's a done deal that Freaky Fast will be coming back next season, starting in January, for all three of our series, Adrenaline Rush, Arc Evolution, and RSR Racing. Be broadcasting those for a 36-week season in all three series. Super excited about that, because y'all do an incredible job. I mean, if you close your eyes, you think you're listening to a NASCAR broadcast. So we appreciate you guys coming on board and everything that you do for us.
Well, Ryan, we appreciate you guys letting us be a part of the family here, and be able to bring this great action to all the fans out there and all the family members of you all their family members going to battle here tonight, because it's going to be one heck of a show. Also, thank you to the fans out there. Even Steve putting a message out. He says, great message from you there, Ryan. And he's definitely going to be helping Gonzo out. And remember, like Ryan said, the GoFundMe link is in the description. So if you have something to give, definitely go give it to Daniel, because he's definitely in a time of need right now. And spread the link, tell people about the story and get it out there. The more the merrier, and the more we can help Daniel, the better. So thank you, Ryan. We got a special race here tonight, man, and
it's going to be a burner. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to get off here and let y'all do your thing, but again, thank you, and I am super excited about what's coming tonight. You got the final 4 guys: GT, Travis, Matt Rush, and Curtis, all going. Whoever finishes the closest to first place is going to win the championship. So it's going to come down to some exciting racing, especially with the stage breaks in there. Phoenix is a slick track, close quarter racing, big open dog leg. So it's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out. So thank y'all. And again, if you cannot donate, no problem. Share this link out and just say a prayer. I'm a man of God, and I absolutely believe in it, and I think prayers go a long way. So if that's all you can do, I think he would greatly appreciate it if you could. So guys, I'm going to get off here, get in my car. I appreciate y'all, and I will talk to y'all after.
All right, later on, Ryan. Good luck tonight, man, and hopefully we'll see you up there too, fighting with these guys.
Right. Thanks, guys.
And you heard it, guys. That was league owner Ryan Zell there with a very important message. I stress that was a beautiful cause they got going on here at RSR, and we love helping that out. I mean, that's really, the championship is a big thing tonight, but also we need to keep Daniel in our thoughts going into the all season, especially the holidays coming up. So shout out to you, Daniel. We're with you, buddy, and fighting with you all the way, and we hope you can get through this. But now, with about 4 minutes and 35 seconds left here in this practice session, guys, we're going to get into the stipulations of this race. This race is gigantic. This is the championship. This is who takes home all the money. I mean, the winner of this championship is going to take home $100 tonight. We also got to give a shout out to, but before we get into the final 4 guys, I do want to shout out Slide Job Racing. They did take home the team standings win. So they got the team owner standings win there for Slide Job Racing by them guys starting here tonight. So congrats to Slide Job Racing for winning the Owners Championship here at the RSR Cup Series. We also need to give a shout out to Craig A. Burns, who with his start here tonight should lock in that 17th position. So that'll be top driver out of the playoffs. So that will be him netting $100 also for that number 12 machines here tonight, because he's been a great racer all night. All season just missed the playoffs barely, and he was the top guy out of the playoffs. So we'll see him take that home there as the top man out the playoffs there for Craig A. Burns. But now we get to where it's going to be down to 4 top competitors here at the RSR Cup Series, and it's going to be who can finish ahead of each other and how they're going to finish this all out. I'm excited. Right now, we got them top 4 on the board. Brandon, what do you think, man? We got them top 4 on the board. I think that just makes it even more exciting.
Well, Zach, it just kind of shows that these guys are the top 4 for a reason. They showed up in big form tonight, and it is one of the 4. I've got to be a little bit nervous, knowing, hey, I'm not really that much faster than the guys that I'm trying to battle, and we're all, under a blanket in the same 10th bracket of quick lap times, maybe separated by a couple hundredths right now. So it's going to be a really close race, a lot of action, slick track. And I'm sure these guys are going to be a little bit wary of any incidents they may run into, because there's some parts of this track where something happens in front of you, there's nowhere to go. So you got to keep your head on a swivel at all times and stay out of caution. You got to make it to the end to have a chance to win it.
Man, it's definitely going to be one of those races we're not going to forget here at Freaky Fast. I am so excited to see how this all plays out. You got Travis Everett on the top of the board right now, followed by GT Irizarry, Curtis Preston there in the 3rd position, and Matthew Rush there in 4th. As those 4 guys, like you said, you could throw a blanket over them with their times right to qualify in the next 2 minutes. It should be very close, and I think you're going to want to go ahead and start up front and keep track position all night, as this track is very tricky, Brandon. It is slick.
Oh, it is. It's very slick. It's very hard to pass when the tires wear in, and you have to really have a lot of throttle control just because, especially out of four, the back end really wants to step out if you know carry maybe a little bit too much center speed and try to get back on the gas too soon, and you can get into trouble very, very quickly.
In trouble will be something we see probably tonight here. Hopefully not for one of our contenders, but man, it can anytime step out from under you here at this racetrack, and a very tough one as we're going into the desert night here at the Phoenix International Raceway. Actually, it's now ISM. I always call it Phoenix just because that's what it was called. But you'll probably hear multiple names of this place here tonight as we're watching these guys do some practice laps. It should be one heck of a show. We're excited here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting to bring you this championship race. This is one of the races that makes me nervous, man. It just I get that championship feel. You know, GT talked about last night how nervous he was about going in here tonight, and that's one of your top guys. I mean, he's a top dog in every single race almost, just right there, and he's nervous. That shows you how tough it is going to be to beat these four competitors here tonight because they are just so close. And I'm telling you what, they've all had a great season. So whoever comes out here a champion is deserving in my book.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I think, any one of these top four, they absolutely deserve this championship. They've shown it week in and week out that they're always competitive and really know how to get to the front when it matters and pull out victories and just be competitive. It's a shame that only one of them gets to win. And you talked about how nervous GT was. That's one of the big things that you're going to be fighting more so than I think even your competitors. You can't let the nerves get to you and rattle you. Can maybe force a mistake just by being a little bit too anxious. And so that's also something they're going to have to manage tonight. Is just being calm and patient and not getting too ahead of yourself.
And it's going to be one of those nights, like you said, nerves are going to be a topic of discussion here. That's for sure. And now we're heading off into qualifying to see who gets that Sheffield Graphics Pole Award here tonight. And I can tell you that's a good way to start it off if you're on the championship four. But you got to think there's another group of guys out here trying to get a win too and make their name here. I mean, you're going to race these guys tough, but you don't want to cause no issues, especially with them. That's always going to be the thought is, hey man, they're going for a championship. I don't want to cause no issues with these guys. But man, it's just going to be so much going on. It's going to be who can make the best of it. And I'm already seeing guys, actually GT Irizarry had a little issue on his qualifying lap, actually spun it, but he was able to get stopped before he crossed the start-finish line and reset. So that's good news for that 14. But man, Brandon, I'm excited. This should play out very interestingly. And man, I'm ready to get this thing kicked off. I got that nervous, like, tension energy.
It's the calm before the storm right now, and as you touched on, I think we're going to see these guys given these championship four a lot more room than perhaps you normally would, because you absolutely don't want to be the guy that maybe cost somebody a championship by a little mistake. But everybody's also they're still racers. Everybody still wants to win. So we don't we're not counting points, stages. No points. They don't really matter. And you don't have to win the race to win the championship. You just got to finish the first out of these four guys. So you don't have to win. So maybe they're not going to take that chance, put themselves in a position trying to get the win. And maybe settle for second, because second's still good.
Yeah,
Curtis Preston and Matthew Rush putting down. Curtis Preston sitting on the top of the board right now. Top four guys in top six positions right now. Travis Everett then jumping up to second position. I don't know if GT is finished with his laps or not, but top four in the top five right now. Great run for those guys to start this thing. And then Nolan Potter looking to be a spoiler here in the third position.
Yeah, he's splitting it right down the middle. And like you alluded to, we always talked about stage points. You need stage points. Ain't no stage points needed tonight. It's all about getting positions and setting yourself up for that final stage, as we do have two stage cautions here as usual at the RSR Cup Series here. And that is lap 45 and lap 90. So make sure you keep those in mind. We have 3 sets of tires in the pit, so that's 4, including the tires we start with at the beginning of this race. So there's going to definitely be some strategy playing out with the 50% fuel load. it's gonna be so much stuff all over the place that we're just gonna have to see how it plays out. Look at GT there, Brandon. He jumps himself back from that 5th position up into 2nd with his 2nd lap.
Yeah, really good second lap there, especially after rebounding from that spin coming to start his first lap. Good thing that he got it quoed down and could get that reset to get 2 full laps up to speed. Maybe a little bit cautious, but still 2nd place start. Really good position to be in to start this thing, especially when you've got somebody like Curtis Preston, who's also his teammate, starting on the inside of him.
And Curtis put down a burner of a lap. I mean, a lot of these guys didn't match what they ran in practice. Some guys picked up a little bit, but not everybody matched what they ran in practice. But Curtis ran the fastest lap of the whole night. So Curtis, he took that pressure, balled it up, and used it as energy here. As we're looking at Craig A. Burns now put down a qualifying lap, as I believe he's already put down 2. He might just be running. Oh no, that was the 2nd lap there. So Craig actually there in the 5th position on his qualifying lap. And remember, he takes home $100 here tonight as he's the top non-playoff finisher in the points. So congrats to Craig A. Burns here as qualifying is about to come to an end here as we got less than a minute. Oh man, this is where it's about to get interesting. When you get in that grid, Brandon, what's your, as a driver, just put yourself in their situation. Coming to that grid, what's the emotions you feel like when you sit in that car and you say, man, we're about to roll off pretty much and get this started?
Well, I tell you, Zach, I'm trying not to really think about, what the race means. I'm just trying to figure out who's around me, who do I know pushes pretty hard, who's a little more passive, and just trying to figure out a place that I can settle in and just kind of play the race out and let it all come to me and, stay out of trouble. It's I don't know. I think once they start rolling and get really racing, they're not going to have much time to think about the big picture of things. It's just going to be a lap at a time. But right now, I think you're just trying to shut all that out.
Keep all the demons out of your mind. That's for sure, my friend. It's just so tough not to, let that stuff creep in there. So more power to these guys not letting that stuff affect them. But we've already seen, they've had the preparation all week. It's been all week about this moment, and now we head to our grid here for the starting lineup for our championship race at ISM Raceway. There you go. Curtis Preston is starting on the pole there, one of our playoff 4. Second man, GT Irizarry, another playoff driver. They're in the playoff 4, starting 2nd. 3rd will be Travis Everett, one of the other playoff 4. 4th, there's Nolan Potter. 5th is Craig A. Burns. Our final playoff 4 driver is Matthew Rush, starting in the 6th position. So all top 4 in the top 6 here in qualifying. 7th is Kevin G. Adrusich. 8th, Randy Cornwell. 9th, Zach Strittenthal. 10th is Michael Sheffield. 11th, Brock Potter. 12th, Harold Watkins. 13th, Andrew Little. 14th, Chad Biesinger. 15th will go to Matt Upbrook. 16th is Nathan Campbell. 17th is Kevin Ruff. 18th goes to Michael Martino. 19th is Marc-Andre Thibodeau. 20th, Bob Fitzpatrick. 21st, Adam Buzzio. 22nd, Anthony Yunes. 23rd will go to Tony Ludi. 24th is Kevin Zabladil. 25th is Junior Miller. 26th, David Edwards. 27th, David Hall. 28th, Ryan Ezel. And 29th is Michael Haru. And we will get a talking with your Sheffield Graphics pole winner here tonight of Curtis Preston, as he's one of the playoff guys. Let's see what his thoughts are as he gets ready to pull off grid here. We'll get a little chat in here with him. Brandon.
Oh, sorry. Hey, Curtis. It's Brandon up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, but it all comes down to tonight, the whole season's worth, and put yourself in a really good position starting on the pole. How are you feeling getting ready to start this thing? Are you anxious, nervous? What's going through your mind?
I got a little nerves for sure, but just got to stay focused on the game plan, take care of the car. It's 150 laps, so got to have something to race with at the end is the main thing. This race don't start till about lap 90.
I gotta completely agree with you, bud. And you guys roll around here, let you get back in the car and get your head right, get this thing started, and wish you the best of luck. And maybe we'll talk to you at the end of this thing as the champion.
All right, thanks, guys. Enjoy the race.
All right, there you heard it from Curtis Preston there from Slide Job Racing. They already took home the team owner championship. See if they'll be able to take home the driver championship as that pace car pulls in this time. Curtis Preston there, you heard from himself just before here, getting ready to go to green. Green flag is in the air. Curtis Preston takes him down to turn 1 for lap number 1 of our 150 lap event here at the Phoenix International Raceway for Championship 4 at the RSR Cup Series.
A really good start by these guys. It's one thing that doesn't get talked about a lot here at Phoenix. The starts, because the straightaway is so flat, it's hard to really see what's going on ahead of you, and you can get a bit of an accordion effect, guys checking up and you're not being able to see it. I heard a little bit of radio chatter about guys having to check up in the back and doing a good job of that, so that's something we're going to have to pay attention to on these restarts all night.
Definitely have to pay attention to it here as we single filed out here early here at the ISM Raceway. Look at that there. Matthew Rush there making the pass to put himself up into the 4th, already up 2 positions. Our top 4, final 4 drivers are in the top 4. And this is where I don't want to say they're going to be top 4 all night, but we see this so much in the real life racing that the guys who are, have that shot at the championship, they prepare so much that when they get to this racetrack, they just look like they're in a different league.
Oh, absolutely. And like we said, they're the top 4 for a reason. They have absolutely earned this spot, and they are showing that they have this. We've got a caution.
Yeah, we do actually. That's our first Nissan Central caution. I believe that happened there in the dog leg, and I believe we'll have to go back to the Freaky Fast broadcast. It looks like Matt Upbrook, I believe, in the number 16 here as we go back on the Freaky Fast replay here and show exactly what happened. Oh, okay, gets into the wall, and the exit of the dog leg comes down in front of Chad Biesinger there, and Chad Biesinger really could not check up in time. And at 23, so some heavy damage for the 16 of Matt Upbrook and the 23 of Chad Biesinger.
Yeah, it's not an uncommon thing. Like going through the dog leg, normally you see guys cut it a little bit just on the inside or way down on the flat, but it really slings you up towards the wall when you come out of it, especially if you're not cutting it. So just a little bit of a misjudge there. Unfortunate damage for Matt Upbrook.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Chad and Matt there to get a little bit of damage here. Just a chain reaction event. Chad really had nowhere to go. Matt got into that wall and it bounced him off of it. Chad just, probably did not expect that soon a car to be in front of him there like that. But it's so tough to react here. And the reaction times are very fast in Cup Series racing. And that's kind of what we've seen here is these guys are going to stay out here for our first caution of the evening here. And that's an early caution. And this is the caution right here that, like, man, I feel like this is something that makes the nerves even worse. You wanted to get it started. Once you get the race started, everything kind of goes out the window and you get into your own feeling. But to have a quick little caution in there, I think this makes it kind of more build up back to almost what we were at the start.
Yeah, I have to agree. When you're out there at full speed and you're just focusing on, running your smooth line and trying to, plan out the rest of your race, figure out what the car likes, you don't have a lot of time to think about anything else. But when you're pacing around here, that's all you've got time for. It's just, these long pace laps. Okay, I don't need to pit now. Oh, man. That start might have been a little bit crazy. These restarts, how am I going to, navigate guys on my outside, or, what if somebody makes a dive on the inside? You get inside your head a little bit.
Very easy to get inside your head, my friend. It is. And I tell you what, these guys, but like you said earlier in the broadcast, Brandon, there's a reason why these guys got to the Final Four. They just had the ability to block it out, and when they needed to, they performed. And I'm sure they're going to use that same ability here tonight to be able to perform to the best of their abilities. But I'm just interested how strategy is going to shake out all this. With the 50% fuel load, I think you're looking at most likely around 50, maybe really about 40 laps probably at the 45 maybe probably laps at the most on a tank. So I don't see anybody being able to make it for a two-stopper in this race if it gets to lap 50 then 100. So, and especially with the way the stage breaks are. They're right at 45. Can you make it there? That's going to be kind of touch and go. So we'll have to see. I think the second stage will be fine because they'll have those caution laps in between there to help them shorten that distance. But this first stage, these caution laps here will help. I'm just interested to see if these guys will be able to make it all the way to the end.
Well, based on what I'm thinking here and previous experiences, I think that they can make it 45, especially with these caution laps. They'll be just good to make it to the end of this stage. And I think you're right. It's going to be a 3-stop race for sure. It's just going to come down to timing when you take that stop and trying to get the undercut, because the undercut is pretty sufficient here. You can get quite a bit of time gained on guys ahead of you by pitting maybe a lap earlier.
It's always a worthwhile gamble here as we go back. Green flag racing here at the RSR Cup Series with Curtis Preston leading us down to turn 1. The playoff 4 in the top 4 as the battle behind them ensues with Nolan Potter and Craig A. Burns.
Yeah, and going back to Matthew Rush, he started in 6th place. Not qualifying up there in the first 4 spots like the other 3 had, filing in 1, 2, 3. But he almost immediately made his way up to the 4th position, and it's not that bad that he maybe was off pace a little bit in qualifying, because I would much rather have a focus on the long run here at Phoenix than try to have some short run speed, because if you get a lot of short run speed out of this car, you're going to struggle later on.
Yeah, short run speed here is definitely something that can make you struggle, like you said. You can really burn the right rear tire off on this car if you just push it way too hard. So you gotta back her down kind of and keep that thought process. And Brandon, I just did the math from a little bit of data that I had from a Phoenix race we did, and it looks like 42 and a half laps is what we're looking at for fuel. Now, I think they'll be able to make it to the end of the stage now, as actually GT is taking the lead while we've been looking back here. Wow. Didn't even notice that. The 14 says, I want to hop up here to lead, and I feel better out front, as GT Rosari now top of the board with that number 14, passing by Curtis Preston.
Well, we talked to GT yesterday, and he said that he felt pretty good about Phoenix. It was a track that he was pretty comfortable with, and he felt like it was a good fit for him, and was really, nervous, but also ready after turning a lot of laps here to come out and have a chance to win this thing, and he's showing it right now for sure.
Well, I mean, GT kind of alluded to it in his, like you said in this interview. He said, this place wasn't his best racetrack, but he said that about Kentucky, and look what he did at Kentucky.
Yeah.
He went out there and won. So it'll be interesting to see if he can go back-to-back here and pull off the championship as a ride on the back bumper of him. But yeah, 42 and a half laps, Brandon. I think with those caution laps, they should be able to make it to this stage caution here.
I think some of the guys, if anybody had the foresight to, maybe clutch a little bit, ride around in 4th gear, they're definitely good. Anybody that decided to maybe ride around in 2nd gear under those caution laps, it's definitely going to be close. As we get later in the run, especially if they don't have any other cautions, they're going to be off throttle quite a bit as the pace slows down. So they're able to save a little bit of fuel that way. But I don't want to hear 2.5 laps short just to make it to the end of the stage as a driver.
Yeah, that's never fun, especially when you're in the championship position. I mean, riding on board here with GT, you see this, how he's getting around the track. But when you're in that championship position like this, you never want to take too big of a gamble. You kind of want to have a for sure way to that championship. And fuel mileage is never a for sure thing.
No, it is definitely not. Sometimes you can go around here and you run a race one time and do one thing and save this amount of fuel, and come to the same track again, do the exact same thing and burn a little bit extra. So it kind of changes up, and you really have to play it by ear, just during the race. And like you said, you don't want to take too big of a gamble and, especially run out of fuel and maybe, as we've seen before, miss your pit box, roll through it and not be able to roll back half the toe, because that will almost assuredly end your night and your hopes for a championship.
Don't want to end your hopes for a championship early here tonight. As we're looking back here, Brock Potter there in that number 4 machine, running in the 9th position right behind Craig A. Burns, fan favorite, when I say as always. With Nathan Campbell in that 10th position, Zach Schrittenthal. And tell you what, there, look at Craig. He's trying to take a look there on Kevin Giadricic as he doesn't able to make the pass. But Randy Cornwell, he moved up about 2 positions, starting in that 8th position. So Randy Cornwell, and he's looking on Nolan Potter here to maybe get himself up into that 5th position.
Well, and it's not out of the ordinary to see Randy Cornwell kind of charging up through the field a little bit. We know he's a guy that he loves the strategy. He always he's probably the most entertaining to watch, I think, when it comes to strategy, because he's always got something wild that he's going to try, and he always seems to find his way up to the front at the end. You know, maybe the strategy doesn't work out and he runs out of fuel a little early, but he's definitely up there. So I wouldn't count him out of maybe winning this thing tonight.
Not count that number 18 out. He may not be one of the playoff 4, but you know he's out there to get himself a win. And there's a lot of guys gunning for a win here tonight. You got, you know, 24 other cars out here looking to say, man, this may be my shot to close out the season on a bang.
Well, Zach, and looking at the lap times the last time by, the top 4 were over 0.2 quicker than the rest of the field. This time by it's pretty much evened out. Everybody running 27.8s, 27.9s, and that's a pretty big characteristic of this track, is that you don't really run much faster lap times than your competitors. It's just those hundredths that add up that gain you that time over the course of a run every lap.
And these guys are trading lap times back and forth up here up front. We're right on board with Kevin Giadricic behind Randy Cornwell and Nolan Potter. See him trying to work his way up. He's starting in the 7th position right now in the 7th position. So held station there for that number 9. And we've seen him win multiple races here in the playoffs. So would not be surprised to see this 9 up there competing for possible win here tonight also.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of guys tonight that can absolutely come out and get it done and get a win at this track. It's really a driver's track more so, I think, than a lot of others, especially with this current Cup car package. It's a lot more to do with, you know, driver ability and driver experience. And these guys are showing they have a lot of experience. They always seem to find their way to the front, as we got Randy Cornwell making a pretty bold move to the inside of Nathan there. Or Nolan, excuse me.
Yeah, bold move to the bottom of Nolan Potter in the 34, and looks like he's actually able to make that thing stick. And he's going to be by Nolan Potter for the 5th position, as Kevin Giadricic is going to look to follow him through. So our top 4 have started to break away just a little bit as these guys are racing.
And they're doing about what I expected them to do. You know, they're not racing each other very hard. They're just keeping in touch with one another and not letting anybody really get too far ahead. And I would absolutely expect all of them to be on the same strategy, the same pit strategy, all race, just stay in that same ballpark where, you know, they're not maybe behind. Unless somebody feels like they just don't have the speed and they feel like they have to gamble and do something different to, you know, maybe gain some type of an advantage, I would absolutely, you know, see them all come in about the same lap and just stay right with each other.
Yeah, it's we'll have to see how it all shakes out right now. GT still hanging on to the lead here, 23 laps into this race. But I tell you what, he's got Curtis Preston, their teammate, right behind him, and future teammate Travis Everett. So that's always interesting too. You got a future teammate there behind you. I wonder, you know, how much practicing and sharing of information went across that border. So very interesting to see Travis Everett moving over to Slide Job Racing next season.
Well, I'd imagine, you know, we did talk to GT, and he said that they've been putting in a lot of practice, and I'm sure that Travis Everett was privy to a lot of that practicing. So these guys have put in a lot of work here tonight, and it's definitely showing. And I don't know if Matthew Rush has put in, you know, a lot of practice, but if not, he's doing a superb job, still keeping up with these guys.
Yeah, Matthew Rush, they're keeping up in the 4th position right now on that number 11, and he's got the 2 ahead of him. But look, Travis Everett looking to the inside of Curtis Preston here. Now the battle for second ensues. What does Everett have? Does he have the race-winning move here tonight, as he's going to make the pass there on Curtis Preston, slide his way up into that 2nd position and see if he can track down that number 14. But I tell you what, you already see it right there, a little bit of loosey-goosey. These things right here, after you get about 20 laps on them, you can really really overheat that rear. And Brandon, it doesn't just get loose off. It starts loose in, loose middle. It starts really from corner entry on.
Yeah, I think out of anybody that I know, I've probably got the most experience looping cars here at Phoenix, so I can tell you this thing is loose everywhere. Especially if turn one is really deceiving. It looks like you can carry a lot more speed in, but if you do and misjudge it, the rear will just lose all grip and want to step you up the track. And then even out of two, as we watch Curtis Preston, a little bobble coming out of two, the amount of wheel that you have in there, especially if you're trying to just cut the dog leg a little bit, it can step out the car very quickly. You're really not safe anywhere here. You've always got to be on top of that throttle control.
Got to be on top of the throttle control is the key here at Phoenix's. Man, the top four have kind of evenly spaced out almost between the top four here. This is interesting to see as we're under our first really a long green flag run here. And I tell you what, these guys are showing the preparation was real for this week.
Yeah, and I can't blame them for that. I know in my experience that if I had a big race coming up, it doesn't matter how many leagues I run in, I'm focusing on that league and that track to try to get as much time in as I can and, get as much speed as I can.
As I believe now, the biggest mover in this race, Brandon, I believe, is David Edwards. He's up from 26th to that 15th position. And also Kevin Zabla doing from 24th to 14th. You got Bob Fitzpatrick at 13th right now, 20th to 13th. David Edwards there up 11. You got Kevin Zabladil up 10. You got Bob Fitzpatrick up 7. So a lot of guys going forward here at the Phoenix International Raceway.
And that's an achievement in itself, Zach, because passing here, especially in the long runs, gets really tricky. It's very much a track position race. You kind of want to get up to the front and not really give up that position because it's so difficult to get back. So to be up 10 and 11 positions for Kevin Zabladil and David Edwards, that's a really nice drive for them, and it's only up from there because they're only about halfway through the field, so still a lot of positions left to gain.
Lots of positions to be gained here, and I tell you what, no positions to gain really for the top four as they're setting sail here tonight. And I tell you what, the thing I'm seeing though right now, Brian, sorry, sorry, Brandon. I just talked to Brian, so that was a mistake. But GT up here really looking pretty loose on entry right now. I'm not saying GT is going to start to struggle here. Travis Everett has closed the gap just a little bit. GT's been able to, keep it solid here. Just looking at the 13 car, Tony Ludi, but GT looks very sideways. Ooh, we got our second caution of the night here, brought to you by Or Nissan Central.
That is the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick.
Oh, it is, and we'll have to go back here on the Freaky Fast replay and check out exactly what happened here. Oh, it might have been some battling here between Kevin Zabladil and that 17. Let's say Zabladil. Oh, maybe Fitzpatrick there a little loose. Yeah, actually Fitzpatrick got loose and came down onto the 17 there. And that's going to send the 17 spinning down to the inside. I think the 17 did a good job of missing that inside wall. And the same with Bob Fitzpatrick. Really no harm, no foul for them guys. Probably just a little bit of damage on that right front of that 17.
Yeah, and it was just what we were talking about. It looked like Bob got a little bit loose going in, and that's one thing about turn 1 and 2, especially here. If the car's unhappy going in, it's not going to be happy the entire way through the corner. You really have to get out of it to get the car to settle down and get back underneath you. Otherwise, you're just going to be fighting that loose condition all the way off. And unfortunately, a little bit too loose for Bob Fitzpatrick there on the exit at 2.
Man, oh man, that's going to be interesting here now, Brandon. We're going to have 10 laps till before we get another caution here at the stage. Now you got to restart on old tires, as none of these guys are going to come down to pit because we only have 3 sets of tires, and you're going to need those for the rest of the race. So right now, it puts you in an interesting position as a driver, saying, I got to restart on old tires and make these work. What will help them, though, is this cooldown phase. These tires actually recover a good bit when they cool down because you got them so hot from sliding around this really tough racetrack that you really can get them back cooler, and that'll really help you.
Yeah, it definitely improves the grip level for about a lap and a half, 2 laps after you restart. depending on how worn they've actually gotten, we can get some wheel spin here. It should be a minor issue, but an issue nonetheless.
Wheel spin could definitely happen here at this slick Phoenix Raceway. Man, I tell you what, I can't wait to get this thing back going green. This is gonna be wild now that these guys got laps on their tires, and it's gonna be very very fun to see. Is uh, our producer's laughing at us for some reason. We don't know. Yeah. Well, I
We've
guess.
got secrets going on up here. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we don't know why he's laughing at us, but he'll tell us later, he said. So we'll find out about that later. But man, I'll tell you what, it'll be fun to see how this all shakes out now. These guys get lined back up. Top four is still your playoff four contenders, so anything can happen at this moment. And the stage win doesn't matter. That's the thing I think these guys need to keep in mind is, hey, like Curtis Preston said, Brandon, he said this to you in his interview. The race does not start till lap 90.
Yeah, and that's kind of the mindset that I've had broadcast in these races the last few weeks, is that the real race doesn't start until they take the green flag after that second stage caution. That's where you kind of set yourself up in a position to really begin racing. And I like the affirmation of Curtis Preston with my same mindset. Makes me feel a little bit better about myself, but I have to completely agree with him. And I was going to bring that up, that it's a lot calmer at the end of these stages than we're used to seeing. Nobody's gambling on strategy, maybe pitting a little bit earlier, trying to steal a stage win, because, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, the points for them don't matter.
Points do not matter. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Throw the points standings out the window. We can get rid of those. We can throw them down onto the floor. We don't need them. We just know whoever finishes in front is your race winner and race champion. We get a pretty interesting restart there from GT. Look at this, playing a little bit of different restart there. He gets a great start as we're back under green, and I tell you what, that caught Matthew Rush caught him off guard, because he was not able to get a great restart, but able to hold on to that pole position.
Yeah, and ever since Matthew Rush made that initial charge from sixth place on the start, he's just been holding station in fourth place, just pacing himself. There were a couple points in that last green flag run that he looked to be a little bit faster than these other three guys. And going back to what we were talking about before the caution, GT looking a little bit loose. And it may be a lot to do with things that he's changed inside the car, like his brake bias and things like that, to help him with grip. Maybe backed up the bias a little bit on the start of the run to help him rotate, and maybe forgot to undo that adjustment to snug the car up a little bit going in. But it's looking pretty stable right now. All these guys, the top four, looking pretty stable. No major bobbles whatsoever.
That's right. Your major adjustment tool as a driver here, especially at Phoenix, with these fixed setups, is your brake bias. Moving that brake power from front to rear will help that car, as he's probably going to be dialing a little bit to that front there if he's a little bit loose on entry, to give that car a little more front braking power. As you see him actually sliding a good little bit off of four there. Travis Everett, though, not giving up. He is right there with him. But I think you're not going to see nothing desperate here. Now, if this was the last lap of the race, I think you'd see some pretty interesting moves. But, man, I tell you what, it's going to come down to the wire here. And this is the first stage. You don't want to mess anything up here early.
Yeah, especially these top four not wanting to potentially take out another guy that they're racing the championship. It's you'd like to see them have some bad luck, and maybe help your chances a little bit, but you don't want to be the cause of that bad luck. And especially Travis Everett, I don't want to hear the meeting that they're going to have with a potential new signee that just wrecked one of his teammates, soon-to-be teammates for a championship. There might be here in the paper shredder for that contract. So we've got another caution.
Oh, we got a third caution here.
Kevin Zabladil.
Yeah, Kevin Zabladil, who was just involved in that last one in the 17. So we'll go back in on the Freaky Fast replay and check out what happened to that 17. Here she's coming off a 2. Oh, going to cut down off the banking, and that thing just took a hard left. And ooh, Heavy lick to the inside wall. That's heavy damage on the front of that number 17 Camaro.
Yeah, and exactly like we talked about, how much wheel you're trying to put in it to make that cut on the older tires. It will really step out, and it feels fine until it doesn't. And unfortunately, not enough time for Kevin Zappel to be able to catch that. And I'm sure the little bit extra heat and wear on the tires from the previous incident did not help that at all.
I think you're exactly right about that, Brandon. Is here we go. We come down pit road this time with that 14 and GT leading the field down here. This is going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out after this caution sequence here. But I believe this will bring us to the end of our stage here. Due to the fact that we should be under caution at 45, and I believe that means the end of the stage is this last caution.
Did get confirmation on the radio as soon as the yellow came out that this will count as the stage caution.
Awesome stuff here, and that's after these guys hit pit road and pull off here. As you see, GT and Travis Everett both coming off of pit road. Did that? I don't think they took they just took gasoline, Brandon. So they're saving sets of tires here. Interesting call. We'll have to see
now,
what GT says.
GT, Travis, and Curtis with just gas, but Matthew Rush looks like he's elected to take tires. This may work out well for him if it goes green, but I'm liking the call by GT, Travis, and Curtis Preston. Not even necessarily saving a set because they're going to have to use it, but even if they get a caution in 10 laps from now, that 10 laps extra is huge over the course of the run. So just slightly better tires, slightly newer tires makes a world of difference. So it could play out very well for them.
It could play out very well for them, and we will now get talking here with Mr. Brandon Colley and GT Irizarry on his stage 1 win here in the Championship 4 final race here at the RSR Cup Series. Here is GT, the man, the myth, the legend.
Hey, GT, it's Brandon up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Hey, man, what's up, bud?
Well, it's been running pretty well this race. Saw a couple bobbles, but didn't look like anything major. How's the car feeling? We know it's loose, but how are you experiencing out there tonight?
We're pretty good, man. I just got to make sure I just keep hitting my marks and really stop looking in the mirror. By watching the mirror, that can get you in a little bit of trouble. So I'm just trying to hit my marks and not burn it up early and not touch the wall or anything like that,
Well, you got to keep the car clean to make it to the end, to have a chance to win this thing for sure. We noticed you guys opted not to take tires this time. Are you a bit nervous that maybe that's the wrong call?
You're always nervous of whether your call is going to be right or wrong, but we decided to do that and try and keep a set in the bag there if we could toward the end. It just looks like we're not going to have a long green flag run, so we'll see how it is, man. I mean, hey, I just got to outrun the other guys running from the bear. That's all.
That's right. You don't have to be faster than the bear. That's for sure. But let you get back down there and get this thing rolling, and hopefully talk to you later.
Well, I appreciate it.
All right, that was GT Irizarry there into 14 as we are getting ready to head back. Green flag racing here after the conclusion of stage number 1. Back green flag underway. David Edwards is your leader as he stayed out in that 15. He pitted on lap 35. I'm getting information, so he is, and I wonder if he took tires. So it seems like he did take tires in that number 15, and he has the lead now. So interesting call from the 15. That could be a pretty interesting call to get him some pretty nice track position in this number 15 machine.
Yeah, the only thing I worry about is here in a few laps that those older tires are really going to start to show, and he's going to be a little bit off the pace compared to these guys. We got Matthew Rush now charging up to the 3rd position on his fresh set of tires, making good use of them right now.
Yeah, Matthew Rush on the different decision here to go with the 4 tires here compared to Travis Everett, Curtis Preston, and GT, as these guys have decided to save a set. Like you said, you didn't feel like we're going to have any long green flag runs here tonight. And you can see Nathan Campbell even working his way up too in that 52. You're going to see that's my biggest worry right here, Brandon, is, on these old tires, if there's, a lot of guys on new tires, you start to fall back and you get into the clutches of where danger zone is of someone, possibly, having an issue in front of you and you getting caught up in it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we do not see any of those issues as Matthew Rush now puts himself into the second position, and he is now your championship leader here for the RSR Cup Series.
Well, Zach, as you mentioned it, I was looking back through the field, and the two of Zach Schrittenroll dove it into 3 and 4 on his fresh tires, and it came really close to getting into the left rear of Travis Everett, as he's just slightly off the pace compared to these guys. So a big moment there for the 59, one of our playoff drivers.
Hopefully these guys can navigate through, as you're going to see. Wow, 3 wide in the back, and we got a caution here, guys. This will be our 4th caution of the evening here. And it seems like this is Nolan Potter in the 34 machine. We'll have to go back on the Freaky Fast replay, brought to you by Or Nissan Central. And, looks like he might have got a little bit of help there from the 88 of Ryan Ezel, as we see on the replay. It looks like kind of what happened there is really, Nolan Potter cut that dog leg, came up the racetrack, and I think Ryan, you kind of lose sight of the car down there, don't you, Brandon, on that dog leg, and it kind of almost forget about him as they slide back up in front of you, and then he was just kind of there, and Ryan had really kind of nowhere to go unless he tried to miss him, and that put Ryan Ezel hard into the wall as he turned right to miss Nolan, and yeah, that started a little chain reaction. That lets the 27 of Marc-Andre Thibodeau get involved too.
Yeah, you're spot on. It's a big blind spot driving these things, that anything off your left side, it's really hard to see. And when you cut that dog leg, you lose pretty much all vision of anybody that's maybe keeping it on the traditional track surface above that yellow line. So a little bit of a gamble there, and unfortunately it looked like, I don't know if Ryan was maybe on fresher tires and was able to drive it in a little bit harder, but either that or just a little bit of a misjudge.
Easy to misjudge there, huh, Brandon?
Cough, cough.
As I think Brandon might have pulled that same maneuver on another driver.
No.
That
It was much more subtle contact than that.
It's very easy to do, though. It really is, especially a track like this where braking distances are so much different. You got different agendas, and when you come up off that banking, you try to stop. Come up off that apron and come up onto the banking. You kind of slow up earlier than you normally would because you don't have the right angle for the corner. So that could also have an effect there as we're in our, like we said, our 4th caution of the evening. David Ebers now sitting in that top dog spot there as he stayed out, but now Matthew Rush, playing the strategy with the tires, is in a pretty decent spot, I think, with these tires.
I'd have to agree, and still, even with GT, Curtis and Travis Everett electing not to pit this time, in a really good spot. My one concern is that these guys now being off cycle, that being GT, Irizarry, Curtis Preston, and Travis Everett, they're going to come into pit when a lot of guys decide to stay out. So they're going to get shuffled back into the field, which puts them in a position where they're pretty vulnerable and a lot can happen to them.
Yeah, you never want to put yourself in the back. Really, that's always a place to get vulnerable. And I think you see a lot of guys saving fuel right now too. They're trying to make it to the end of that stage here at lap 90. I think the big thing here for Matthew Rush is he's only took 1 set of tires. If he can get to lap 90, he'll take his 2nd set there, most likely, which I think these other guys will possibly do the same thing. And then from there, he's still got a set to make the final 60 laps. So I kind of like that strategy. I mean, yeah, you want to have an extra set, I think, in your back pocket at all times. But if other people aren't on this strategy, you're going to lose a ton of track position by taking the tires and putting yourself way in the back.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the reason that I'm worried about the 3 that elected not to take tires. But like I said, maybe Matthew Rush thought he didn't quite have the speed to just outright beat them on the same strategy, so he decided to maybe try something a little bit different and elected to take his set earlier. Because I talked about before, I figured they'd all just kind of stay on about the same strategy if that wasn't the case. But it's we don't know how strategy plays out until it does, unfortunately. So like GT said, you never know if it's right until you know it's wrong.
That's exactly right. As we're back, green flag racing here as David Edwards heads down to turn 1. He got the jump on Matthew Rush there. Side by side now for Curtis Preston. GT looks like GT will clear off of 2. I tell you what, they're hanging tough though on the older tires. Travis Everett, the one who's really suffering right now, as he's kind of in the neck of the woods there with that number 59 with a few guys on fresh tires behind him.
And I think if I'm Travis Everett, he's giving guys a lot of room, and he's just saying, guys, I know I'm slower. Please don't kill me here. I've got a lot on the line. Just, I'll give you all the space you need. Just, don't make a mistake and potentially ruin my chances at a championship.
As you see, Matthew Rush starting to attack race leader David Edwards. Now, I believe David Edwards is on Slide Job Racing, so see if he makes it tough here on the 11 to not let him get too far out there from these other guys.
Well, he can try to make it tough, but he's going to have to make it really tough, especially for how old his tires are. As you see him wash up the racetrack there, just a little bit too hot.
GT and Curtis hanging on pretty tough as Travis Everett now back to the 8th position, and Brock Potter not too far behind was looking for that position. It's now Matthew Rush to the lead in the number 11 machine. He is looking strong with them new tires. Let's see what the 11 can do here strategy-wise the rest of the race.
Well, honestly, if I'm Matthew Rush right now, just you're outright going to be faster. Don't be too much faster. Just keep him behind you. Because even if you gain a gap right now, there's going to be another stage caution, so it's all going to be reset, and there's no way you're going to be able to lap the whole field and put those guys a lap down. So just kind of conserve a little bit, especially if you're playing this strategy where you're going to elect to not take tires the next stop.
Curtis Preston was able to make the pass on GT. Now GT up high in that 14, letting the 18 get by. Here comes the 2 of Zach Schrittenthal. Multiple cars passing the 14, the 52, and Nathan Campbell looking to fall through. And I tell you what, those older tires are starting to show now.
Yeah, they really are. These guys, I don't know if they feel like they're having to really charge the corner to make sure they get the pass made pretty quickly, but we saw the 2 of Zach Schrittenthal really sail it off into 3. Nathan Campbell about to do the same thing, washed up just a little bit, and that's the kind of stuff that these Championship 4 are really going to be trying to avoid and watch out for.
And now is Travis Everett. He's dropped behind Brock Potter now, back to the 9th position. GT's only 2 positions ahead of him there in the 14s. You see Brock Potter now get to the picture to get to the inside of GT off of 4.
Honestly, I'm feeling like this is more anxious of a point in the race than them getting ready to start, just sitting on the grid.
This is where the heart rate goes up. Is now Randy Cornwell got by Curtis Preston. You see up ahead here, there's Curtis Preston on the high line. Looks like Schrittenthal gonna go by. Nathan Campbell gonna go by in the 52. So yeah, these guys on older tires, they're starting to suffer. And if this goes all the way green, Brandon, that is where I completely worry about them, because they lose so much track position for this next pit stop.
They really do, and especially if there's only going to be a handful of guys maybe that decide not to take tires. You just kind of cycle to the back and can't really gain much, as we've got another caution.
Our 5th caution here of the night, brought by Nissan Central, and it looks like that was Andrew Little, I believe, in this caution here involved. As we'll go back on the Freaky Fast replay here to see what happened to the 68 machine. So he's going down to the dogleg, cuts the dogleg, and the dogleg is slick. It is so bumpy down there, and it just sends him straight headfirst into the inside wall, and that will bring out our 5th caution of this evening.
Yeah, again, what we talked about, that transition and the dogleg itself, it's just so slick down there, not really that much banking to keep the car planted. Unfortunate for Andrew Little, because when it steps out there, it always wants to head straight towards the wall, and there's not enough space or time to get it woed up to avoid significant damage.
Now do they pit, Brandon? That's the tough thing.
I would have thought so.
I think they've kind of, they're kind of in for what they got now. And you're going to see them all stay out here. Yeah, some 7th, 8th, and 9th they've dropped back to. If they can stop the bleeding somewhat there and not fall out the top 10, I think it's not too bad of a loss, as they've shown really good speed. I expect them to be able to, once they get on new tires, decently come back through the field. But if they lose, go all the way back to the tail end of the line near 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, which that's the guys that we are last on the lead lap here, that's when it gets tough to get back to Matt Rush there in that 11.
It really is. And, even when they become the cars on the freshest tires, then they're trying to race around a bunch of guys that are, maybe going to be a little bit slower and handling a lot worse than they are. And it still opens up for a lot of potential issues, just, not of their own making to fall into. So it's a good strategy because you want to have that set for the end of the race, but you've got to make it to the end of the race to use them.
Yes, you do. You got to make it to the end here if you want to be able to use those extra set of tires. I tell you what, stuff happens fast at a short track like this. It could all turn very sour very quickly for those 3 playoff contenders running in the near the end of the top 10 here.
And unfortunately, just due to the lack of a really long green flag run, this is letting these guys that took tires save a little bit more, and it's not going to plateau nearly as soon as they would have liked to where they could stop the bleeding, like you said. They're just kind of letting it lets everybody else cool off their tires the same, and they're just going to continuously lose positions off these restarts, I think.
Like I said, I think they've kind of dug their own little hole that they got to dig out or get back out of now. But I think if they pitted this time, it would pretty much just be a wash. Then they wouldn't have that extra set because then they put themselves in the same situation if they want to save a set when the end of this next stage comes. So I think they have to make it to the end of this next stage without using that set of tires. That's pretty much their goal.
Yeah, it's one rule of the strategy is you've got to commit to it. And when you decide to do something, you can't, halfway through go, oh, maybe this isn't a bad idea, because you're not really going to reset yourself to even. It's very rare that it ever works out that way, and you kind of dig more of a hole. So you're in a hole at the moment, but you still got that ladder next to you. Let's not burn it up for firewood just yet.
That's a great saying there. As now the pace car lights are off, we head down to turn 3 and 4. And we're going to get this thing back kicked off with Matthew Rush leading the field with Randy Cornwell there up to second now, worked up there with the new tires. So 18 looking strong as that pace car pulls into pit road there. As you see, Matthew Rush is going to lead us back to green. The 11 is off, and what a jump he got. A great restart here as we go back green flag racing at the Phoenix International Raceway.
Travis Everett back there in the 9th position. Bob Fitzpatrick made a move to the inside. Travis made sure to get him a wide berth, just plenty of room. He about gave him the whole track.
I mean, that's the good thing, the respect that these guys have in this league. I think a lot of guys are going to know the situation they're in. That, hey, I don't want to mess this guy's night up. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the worst feeling in the world, is making that slight mistake, because we've got a card sideways.
David Edwards, what a save. It's going to put him 3 wide, though. Nathan Campbell, Brock Potter, and David Edwards. David Edwards is going to back out of it on the dogleg there, get out of the way of them championship guys. As, that gives them a position again.
I tell you, every single moment that happens like that, these 3, GT, Curtis, and Travis, are going to see their life flash before their eyes. Even the slightest bobble ahead of them, it's going to be terrifying.
It definitely is. There's Bob Fitzpatrick now working by those guys, 2 and the 3, as you see Zach Schrittenthal battling with the 18 and Randy Cornwell. There's to go down in the 3 and 4. Cornwell trying to make the outside line work. Schrittenthal on the bottom, right on the back bumper of that 18 as they come off.
Well, I think that 2 car seems to be the definition of licking the stamp and sending it tonight. He's been charging these corners really hard.
Yeah, he's moved up from that 9th position to 3rd. Same with Cornwell, 8th, 2nd. So some pretty big movers. Brock Potter in the 4th position, 11th to 4th, 16th to 5th for Nathan Campbell. We got some big movers as let's say GT getting passed by Bob Fitzpatrick and move himself back to the 7th position there. As Travis Everett continuing to drop back, I believe he's got Adam Buzzio on his inside. Or actually, that is David Edwards.
Yeah, David Edwards, he's holding on pretty strong. He's got slightly fresher tires than the 59 right now, but definitely not ideal compared to the rest of the field. But still hanging on pretty strong. I'm actually quite impressed by the speed that the 3 of the 4 playoff drivers have continued to have on these older tires.
You see Short Thrall making the pass to get to 2nd here to pass Randy Cornwell. What a pass it was. Cornwell drops down to that bottom lane, but not able to make it work as Short Thrall will clear the 18s. They go down to 3 and 4.
Well, now I think Matthew Rush has got to be seeing Zach Schrittenthal get a little bit closer in the mirror. They're on pretty much even tires. I expect if the 2 car gets to the 11, we might just see the 11 go ahead and pull on over. I think he might be seeing exactly how hard Zach is driving and maybe not want to be the unfortunate recipient of a little mistake.
It's definitely possible, man. And you know, the big thing I'm seeing, Brandon, is the rejuvenation of these tires under caution. Looking at lap times wise, GT near the end of last run, at the end of stage 1, was running 28 2s and 3s and 4s. He's running a 28 1 here, but every time they take off from a restart, they're able to reach down into them 27 8s, 27 6s. So those cooling of them tires is helping these guys under those restarts, and he actually was able to pass Bob Fitzpatrick and move himself back up into 6th with Curtis Preston trying to follow.
And that just goes to show exactly how much heat is getting built up in these tires on this, relatively flat track. That they're able to pick up that much speed just slowing down for caution, as we've got another caution.
Yes, we do. It looks like Marc-Andre Thibodeau as we're under the 6th caution of the evening here brought to you by Or Nissan Central. And remember, folks, this is a tough track. I've seen caution numbers up into the multiple teens. So very, very tough track as you see here. We're back on the Freaky Fast replays. Here's it comes off of 4. Here's Marc-Andre Thibodeau on the 27th. Just loops it and gets into that inside wall. So easy to do off of 4, Brandon.
Yeah, just a little bit of a misjudge, having a little too much wheel into it, trying to keep it pinched down off the corner, and it steps out on you. It's really deceptive, I think, turn 4. You feel like you can't slack off on your input on the wheel because it almost feels like it just wants to jump to the wall if you do. But a little bit too much, and that's exactly what will happen. Same thing out of turn 3. Or, excuse me, turn 2.
Well, it's turn 4 now on the game. But turn 2 in real life, technically. As this track has gone under reconfiguration. And we have yet to get it, but we will at some point, I imagine, get that reconfiguration. But there you see, again, GT, Curtis Preston, and Travis Everett staying out. And I think that's the right call. I mean, they've hung on pretty well, 6th, 7th, and Travis Everett's the one who's lost the most out there in the 11th position.
And I think a lot of that's due to just Travis Everett being a little bit more cautious and giving guys a lot more room than he really needs to, and just kind of freely giving up passes, recognizing the fact that he's a little bit slower and not needing to fight right now. And going back to the new configuration, if you thought restarts were wild here on this configuration, I don't want to see what it's going to be like when you've got that dog leg immediately after the start finish line. Might be 4 wide going into turn 2.
Yeah, it's going to be wild with that new dog leg configuration here at the ISM Raceway. We're back under caution, but man, I tell you what, Matthew Rush done a good job here with his strategy. It should be all even after we get to lap 90 and the caution comes out for stage number 2, because I think Rush will go ahead and put that second set of tires he has in the pits on.
He very well might. I don't know if he might consider staying out and waiting until the second, the time that they need to pit after the second caution for the stage, because they're going to have to make one more stop after this next stage ends, or this current stage ends. I don't think you're going to want to put on that last set then, like GT and the rest of these guys are figuring, because it has been trending towards a good bit of cautions, and you kind of want that, like you said on Monday, you want something in your back pocket. Tires are especially at a premium here. We've seen guys go flying through the field on fresh tires, so you don't want to be the guy that's getting passed. You want to do all the passing at the end when it matters.
And these cautions make it even tougher, I feel like, for these guys. You just kind of want to keep going and let stuff play out, but when these cautions happen, it really breaks your mental lock on what you need to do. GT called it right.
It takes you a couple laps. He figured that there was going to be quite a bit of cautions, and it's just the nature of Phoenix, I think. It's a tough track in itself, and the cars are normally pretty slick here, so there are a good handful of cautions, and that even makes it even more of a track position race than it already is.
Track position racing here at the Phoenix International Raceway as the pace lights are out, and we're going to go back to green here as we're completing lap 80 here, so we'll have 10 till the stage caution, so these guys can just hang on. And like I said, when you have these cautions like this, the tires cool down, and so really the 14, the 29, and the 59 can find that speed that they need to be able to keep themselves in position as the pace car pulls back down the pit road with Matthew Rush leading there as he goes off and away in that number 11. It gets a great restart here to lead us down into turn 1 with 10 laps to go before stage.
And a little bit of a jumble up there on the restart. Looked like the third lane or second lane back just kind of checked up a little bit. And I feel for these guys, because the restarts here are probably the scariest part of the race, and having to do so many of them, definitely nerve-wracking. As GT just about went 3 wide there, thought better of it.
Wow, yeah, you don't want to take too big of a risk. No risk is worth losing the championship.
Absolutely not. Yeah, it's cooler heads prevail, and just, he said, you heard it from the man himself. He's got to make it to the end of the race, and that's the game plan here. There's no reason to go out and make passes right now. Wait until the end when you absolutely have to, and even if he passes his teammate Curtis Preston right now, he's still got Matthew Rush up there leading these championship 4 right now, and there's not much chance that he's going to be able to run him down.
Yeah, definitely. So, and you're going to get as much track position as you can here before these pit stops, so you can be within a definite reach of that number 11. As the 11 should. The thing with him is he's going to gain track position over these guys, and they're going to have to pass him for a lead to get back by.
Yeah, with the older tires, I think he's going to have, if he elects not to take any of this pit stop. It shouldn't be too difficult, but if he decides to take one and they decide, hey, we're not going to have any more cautions, this might actually end up being quite a bit of a problem, and he's going to be sitting in the catbird seat in that 11.
Oh, Travis Everett.
Yellow flag is out.
Oh no, in the 59, he gets a. Oh no, as we're under our 7th caution of the evening here for brought to you by Or Nissan Central. And he got a little bit of help here as we go back on Freaky Fast Replay. So we'll see here going down into the corner. Looks like a little help from the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick Jr.
Well, that's exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah. He's going to have to rebound from that, and that's going to be tough as we're nearing the end of the stage here.
Now, he should be able to get quite a bit of it fixed. Most of the damage seems to be on the rear, a little bit on the right front. Shouldn't hurt him too bad. It should be about, I'd say, 25 to 30 seconds to repair. Easily repaired under caution here. And shouldn't hurt his speed too much. This isn't too big of an aero-dependent track. It matters, but it's more driver and throttle control rather than just, keeping that speed up like we normally see. So he should be able to rebound okay. The biggest problem is all that track position lost.
Lost the track position is never good, my friend, as Matthew Rush leads everybody down here to pit road. And it looks like he elected to take no tires in the 11. As I believe a few of the guys who did the strategy of taking tires early in the race, they did the same exact strategy here of taking no tires. So, interesting call. We'll have to see how that all shakes out, as Matthew Rush is your Sheffield Graphics stage winner here. Great job by him, and we will get a chat in here with Matthew Rush to see what his thoughts are and see what he says here to Brandon, as we'll bring him on down here to the waiting room. And here is Matthew Rush, your stage 2 winner.
Hey, Matthew Rush, it's Brandon up in the booth. You got your ears on, bud.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's been a pretty eventful race so far. Quite a few cautions, and well, you took a gamble and decided to take tires when the other 3 of the championship 4 didn't. How are you feeling now, having to come out here and save a set for a little bit later on in the race?
Yeah, it's all going to depend on how the cautions fall, really. I don't know at this point.
Well, did you feel like you maybe burned up a little bit there? Were you taking it pretty easy, just trying to conserve? Did you know, hey, I'm not going to take a set here for this next stage caution?
Yeah, I tried to take it easy a little bit. See how far I can go on these ones. Try to get back on my competitor strategy.
Well, the good news, Matthew, is it seems like the tires, after the initial starts, they kind of even out a little bit, and they're not quite off the pace, so you should be able to hold pretty strong here and set up for a good close-in amount of laps. So we'll let you get back down there, as I believe you guys are going to 1 to green this time by, and wish you the best of luck, and maybe we'll talk at the end of this thing as a champion.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, that was Matthew Rush there, your stage 2 winner. Man, what a call from him to get to that position. But it looks like Kevin Giadricic, Bob Fitzpatrick, Andrew Little, they're electing not to pit this last time by, so they will move themselves up to the lead here. And Rush will start in that 4th position. And now the next playoff contender will be Curtis Preston in 9th, GT in the 11th position, and Travis Everett all the way back in 21st. So we got them spread out now, Brandon.
Yeah, the strategies have kind of divided everybody up, and we're going to see when it comes down to the end of this thing, which strategy prevails and who can catch those lucky breaks and the correctly timed cautions for their strategy.
Strategy. That's what we're going to be talking down to the very end here as the pace car pulls in. Kevin Giadricic is off as they head down to turn number 1 to get this thing all kicked off here as we are in the final stage of the race. And this is going to be wild stuff.
Well, looking back through the field here, guys slicing and dicing on the restarts as we're normally accustomed to. Travis Everett still looking like he's got pretty good pace. Got a little bit of his damage fixed and fresh tires, and he's making his way back up through the field slowly but surely.
Now, I may have got this wrong, but did you get confirmation on the radio, Brandon, that was the end of the stage?
That was, in fact, the end of the stage.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't jump the gun there, because I just noticed for lap 90 now, and didn't want to be like, oh, man, I'm wrong. Man, let's look at Andrew Little in the middle there with Curtis Preston. Woo. That was close. GT was able to get past Curtis Preston here in this situation. Man, oh, man, Giadricic is shot out of a cannon out there in the lead as Rush in 2nd, Fitzpatrick 3rd, Cornwell 4th. And Campbell there in the 5th position is GT, and Curtis Preston trying to make their way here through the field as cautiously as possible.
Yeah, the biggest thing now is that they've got a lot of guys that are on the older tires just almost blocking the way, and they're having to show a lot of patience here. GT making some pretty aggressive moves, just trying to get away from these guys. So we got a caution.
I believe that's the 15 of David Edwards. Man, oh man, here's our 8th caution brought to you by Ora Nissan Central. We'll have to fast replay here. See if we get this. As David Edwards looks like he lost it off of turn 4, and I believe we're having a few issues here, and it's not triggering us as a caution. for David Edwards. So see if we can get
Well,
that all sorted out, but we may not have a replay for that.
in lieu of the replay, since it doesn't seem like it's triggering our software here, just replay the incident with the 27 of Marc-Andre losing it out of 4. Identical situation.
Yeah, as you see here on the replay, this is not the incident, but yeah, pretty much like you said, pretty much exact identical copy of the 27's issues earlier from Marc-Andre Thibodeau. It just off of 4, it's so easy to lose the rear of these race cars, and that's what you've seen there, man.
And that's the one thing that's a lot different, I think, with this car compared to, even the trucks, which is probably the most similar of the stock cars that we run to these cup cars. When the car starts to step out, it's just such a fine line between it being driven on the right rear and just being loose. And there's not a lot of time to react to it until maybe it's too late. You got to have a lot of really quick hands and quick reaction times for sure.
That's you see there, David Edwards coming down pit road now. Didn't really hit anything either, so did a good job there to keep that thing nice and clean, man.
Yeah, a little bit of left front damage, not super bad. Probably, 10 seconds, no biggie. Probably more rattled himself in the car for making that little mistake, but nobody else got involved, so no harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul. Yes, it is. Looks like we'll just re-rack them back up here and see what these guys can do. Man, I tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see Travis Everett's progression through the field. Is right now it looks like Everett there in the 18th position, so made a few spots up there, but man, he's got a long way to go. As right now Rush in second, they're leading the championship with GT in the 5th position with Curtis Preston there in 6th. So a lot of ground to be made up for Travis Everett if he wants to get back in this fight. But I tell you what, we have the cautions to make that up for.
Yeah, and he's making good use of these cautions. He was on pit road this last time by, got a fill up here and probably fixed a little bit more damage. And that will benefit him because he's going to have a little bit more fuel than a lot of these other guys. Should they get that green flag run where they have to worry about the green flag pit stops, he can go a little bit longer and maybe make up a lot of ground that way.
And Kevin Giadricic here sitting in that 1st position now. He looked pretty strong on that restart. He pulled a pretty big gap. So I'm interested to see how his strategy plays out, because Kevin Giadricic is like Cornwell almost, in my opinion. He's one of the guys that pulls some of the more off the wall strategies.
And looking at the pits, the last time that Kevin Giadricic in the 9 was on pit road was lap 64, and he did elect to take tires, so he's got slightly newer tires than Matthew Rush, Randy Cornwell, or Nathan Campbell directly behind him. But obviously, once GT and Curtis are able to navigate these guys, they will, I believe, swiftly come up here and manage to take the lead. But right now, he's doing a pretty good job hanging on in that 9 car with those older tires. Great restart from him last time. Let's see if he can reproduce that same success.
I'll have to see here as they get them lined back up side by side here to get ready to go back green flag racing at the Phoenix Raceway. Man, I tell you what, it's one heck of a night so far. Thank you everybody for tuning in here to Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and we love having y'all out there. So thank you very much as we head down towards the restart zone, and this pace car is going to take the hard left turn off, and we're going to get freaky green as Kevin Giadricic nears the restart zone. There he goes. The 9 is off, and he had no time to wait, as there it is, the 11. You can see he's got the 18 to his inside. Where does the 18 Randy Cornwell go? Can the 11 clear off a 2?
GT making those aggressive moves, putting those tires to work, just hugging that inside to get a good run through the dogleg here for a chance to take over 3rd position from Randy Cornwell.
Yes, he does. Fighting to the inside. There you go. He's got Curtis Preston not too far behind, too. And that 29, these two trying to work their way up and back into position. Matthew Rush directly ahead of him. See what happens here is they're going to look to the inside off of 2. GT saying, I want to take back that hold of the championship here, but Matthew fights him off coming off of 2. Now we go down to 3 and 4. Teo Rush is doing a great job on the older tires, Brandon.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a wiggle. Really close racing here between GT and Matthew Rush, and then Curtis Preston coming in the mix.
Cornwell.
Get a caution.
Oh man, here's our 9th caution of the evening, brought to you by Or Nissan Central, and we'll see if that one triggered for us, as Randy Cornwell in the 18 was going around, coming off 4 here. As we'll go back and check that out on the Freaky Fast replay here, coming out of 4. You can see up high, and look, just lost the rear end, and we've seen that 3 times tonight now.
Yeah, really good job for Randy to lock it down as soon as he did and avoid any type of contact. Just maybe overheat the tires a little bit, but kept the car in one piece.
And that's the key, man. You got to keep it in one piece. That's for sure. As you don't keep this thing in one piece, she's going to be all over with very, very quickly, and just one of those deals. It's just tough to hold that car really straight off the exit of 4, man.
Yep. As I said before, a lot of practice spinning the rear of Phoenix, so it's not the easiest thing in the world to keep it off the wall, especially on this front stretch here where you really don't have the room to save it. A lot like Dover, I'd have to say, just this front stretch with how kind of compacted in the cars are with the walls so close to the racing surface. So rare chance to spin and just loop it back around and get back after it.
Well, it looks like Randy Cornwell will hit pit road in that 18 and get him some tires on that 18 machine. So he did not take tires on the last stage break, but now it's less coming here to 50 to go, Brandon. These guys have got 2 sets of tires for all of our championship 4. This is where it all gets interesting. When do they decide to take 1 set of them? Because you're gonna have that one in your back pocket. I think when it gets into the window to make it to the end on fuel is when you can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as you know for a fact that you're not going to have to pit for fuel anymore, you take one of the 2 and just try to. The big thing I'm thinking now is it's going to come down to, when do I decide to take that last set at the end of the race if they get a caution? Because you've got to give yourself enough time to be able to make it back through the field. That's going to be the biggest thing.
I tell you who's making it way back to the field is Travis Everett. 10th position now, Brandon. So that's 12 positions up from after the stage break. So that's a good chunk of cars already made up for that 59.
Yeah, he was able to get his majority of his damage fixed and still just got really good pace. Fresh tires helping him out with that as well. So really good rebound so far, and still on track to make up a majority of the positions he needs now to get back in contention and start racing Matthew Rush, GT, and Curtis for this championship lead.
I tell you what, Rush did not make it easy on that last one. We'll have to see what he does here. Is we are now gonna get him aligned back up, man, and it's gonna get freaky nuts here on on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Is we're getting down to the nitty gritty with less than 50 to go. This is go time if it ever was, and like Curtis said in the pre-race interview for the poll, the race starts at lap 90, and I think that's what you're going to see here. Is from now on, it's all take, no give.
Yeah, you're trying to set yourself up the first 2 stages to set yourself up in a position to start this race right now, and we'll see who's able to put themselves in a good position as we go back to green.
Back green flag racing is Kevin Jarrett is down to turn 1. Matthew Rush doing a great job in that second position, able to get a restart. But look, are they going to split them? No, GT to the inside. Here comes Curtis Preston also in the 29. They both cut the dog leg. Looks like GT will be able to get that position as they go down to 3 and 4. Here comes Curtis Preston side by side through turn 3 and 4. Looks like he'll clear off a 4. So now the positions have changed. GT to the championship lead as Curtis Preston follows him through with Matthew Rush in that 4th position, and Travis Everett making his way through, already up to 8th, and looking to get up even farther than that in the 59, as he's got Kevin Ruff and Zach Schrinthal in front of him.
Well, if the 59 of Travis Everett is able to come back and potentially win this championship, that's a true mark of a champion there, having a big problem and making the most of it and being able to fight through adversity like that and make up all those positions. Keep yourself right in this thing. He's doing a fantastic job right now.
There he goes by Schrittenthal to put himself into the 7th position now. And now Ruff directly ahead of him in that 112. Let's ride on board here with the 59 and see if he can make this pass in this 59 for that 112. Looks like the 112, though, holding good paces. Cavan showed a lot of speed throughout these weeks.
Yeah, he's really picked up the pace a little bit. There's a little bit of slide through 1 and 2. Not going to be happy on the tires, but great job keeping that thing under him. I've been really impressed to see, the speed increase for Kevin Ruff week to week since we've begun broadcasting here at Evolution Racing Leagues in the RSR Cup Series. Really becoming quite a fan of the 112 of Kevin Ruff.
Definitely so. As we have a lead change, as you see, Matthew Rush directly ahead of Travis Everett. But the lead change here to GT as all the caution is out. And these guys are side by side as Curtis Preston almost had the lead. I think he might have it here under yellow, though. As this 10th caution here is under yellow, and I'm not sure that go
Looks
back
like
to
Nolan Potter and the 27 of Marc-Andre Thibodeau.
Oh, so I think it's the 34 lost it and the 27. Someone put a banana peel in the track.
I didn't know we were playing Mario Kart rules out here.
Hey, it's a championship race. You gotta do whatever you can, man.
Well, I think right now Matthew Rush is looking for them blue shells.
Well, the blue shells, those are nice ones to use, that's for sure. I'm looking for that star power up,
Do 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 do.
Yeah, in the music, like you just go right around the outside. If only. But now the question is, Brandon, do we pit here? Because you can make it to the end from here. And like you're seeing, look, the guys are pitting. The Anderson stays out. The rest of the guys come down pit road.
Yeah, I think now we should see all of these guys take a set of tires. Actually, saying that, I know GT, Curtis Preston, and Travis Everett have that extra, they have 2 sets as well, but they pit not long ago to take this set. I think they wait a little bit longer. There's still a lot of life left in the set that they had.
Oh, they're putting a set on here as they jack that right side of both them cars up. And Travis Everett, though, he plays that strategy. I think that might have been the call. Wow. Travis Everett there getting his track position back. He is now in position to win this championship.
It might be the winning move, because now he's going to have that extra set over the other 3 drivers. If they get a couple cautions towards the end, he can almost afford to throw the kitchen sink at it and say, all right, I'm going to go for fresh tires here and just burn them up.
Oh, this is definitely getting pretty spicy. As you see there, the top 5 stayed out. So G. Anderson stayed out. Cornwell, remember, wrecked there not too many laps ago, and he came down and got tires. So he's on a fresher set of tires. Zabladil there in 3rd. You got Andrew Little there in the 4th position, and Craig A. Burns in 5th. So top 5 staying out here. And, man, it should be pretty interesting to see how these guys go through. And like you said, Brandon, it wasn't too long from that stage caution that we just had. And we've had multiple cautions since then, so the tires really didn't get worked too hard. So might have been the right call. I think Matthew Rush was he had to take tires position as he's 11th now. He kind of had to take tires. But the rest of these guys, I think that might have been the call, Brandon.
I think so, too. I'd have to wager that Travis Everett probably still had, even Travis Everett, Curtis, and GT probably still had the wear in the 90s on the right side. So definitely not too much work, like you said, especially with the caution laps allowing these things to cool back down. So I think that's the smart choice to go ahead and just save it for later, as you really haven't put too many at speed green flag laps on these tires.
Yes. Ooh, this is where you now got to be in a position to think your way out of this. As Travis Everett now has put himself after a spin. That's the thing, man. He got spun and he has come back now and put himself in position with a nice strategy to be able to maybe come out of here with a championship. Like you said, if that is a recovery happens, then man, what a recovery for him.
Might have to start calling him Travis Spin to Win Everett.
There you go. Look at that. Look, we're gonna put that on a t-shirt. As you can go check out the merch store for Evolution Race Leagues and Freak Fast down in the description as the pace car's in. And we go back freaky green here and see how this is all going to shake out as we're under 40 to go here at Phoenix. Oh, look at Curtis Preston and behind him, and GT, that got pretty spicy there between the teammates. Big run here from Curtis Preston on GT as he goes to the inside down here to turn 3 and 4.
That was almost disastrous. Man, I had to go back and watch to see exactly how close that was, and couldn't fit a sheet of paper in there.
Definitely couldn't, as these guys might be teammates, but I tell you what, I race my teammates is probably harder than most.
Yeah, there's a lot of confidence in racing your teammate because you know how they drive and you know that you can trust them. And you're seeing a lot of that right now. They're racing really, really hard against each other, even knowing what's on the line. But it's a lot of trust that you're not going to run me over here.
Oh, as Curtis Preston got pretty loose there, Campbell behind him gave him a good bit of slack there. So we'll get it woed up. There you go, Travis Everett going to the 4th position. There's GT all over the back of the 59. 59 looking good on the older tires, though, as GT is going to put the pressure on with them brand new, fresh Goodyear tires.
Well, last time by, Zach, it looked like Travis Everett was only about a tenth slower than GT.
Say GT will make the pass there around the back bumper of Travis Everett. Looking back at Curtis Preston. Now we got our top 4 guys always separated by 1 car, and Nathan Campbell there in the 7th position. So they're running from 4th to 8th right now.
Yeah, these guys, they're slowly rising back to the top. Kevin Jadricic, Randy Cornwell, and Andrew Little doing a really good job still hanging on to those top 3 spots, but coming under fire here very shortly from our championship contenders.
Oh, we may have a caution. Kevin Ruff had an issue there in the 112 off of 4. Looks like he got it back going. No caution here. So we stay green here on the racetrack as Kevin gets it back up to speed.
I tell you, this is, I think, exactly what Travis Everett wants to see. He wants to see the green flag laps that these guys put on their newer tires and have them wear them out and maybe be forced later on to maybe take that last set a little bit quicker than they'd like to.
It's very true there, Brandon, as you can see now GT and Curtis there pulling away a little bit from Travis there, but Travis not letting him get too far ahead. The only issue I think with the one extra tire thing is you're going to have to hope that there's a good bit of people there that that lets you go by pretty quickly, and you're going to need some cautions to click off pretty quickly, I think.
I would have to say so. That's the biggest problem here. If you save that set, yeah, you're going to have fresh tires and you're going to be quicker, but you're going to have to navigate a lot of traffic that's slower than you, and you cannot be too aggressive and potentially cause a wreck or find yourself in a position where you've got nowhere to go and get caught up in. So maybe having to go back through the field twice, it can happen. I've seen it happen, and it could be the championship winning move, but it also could be the move that loses you that championship.
He's doing a great job right now. Hold on to the 4th position the 5th position for Travis as Rush there trying to get around Campbell and get by them as he's got 4 fresh ones. And there is the caution. Our 11th caution of the night brought to you by Orton Nissan Central. We'll have to check.
Oh no, fan favorite Craig Burns.
Oh no, Craig A. Burns involved in this yellow. As we'll go back on the Freaky Fast replay and check out what happened here to Craig. We go down to turn 1. we'll say gets into turn one pretty nicely. Oh, and this almost exact identical thing with Bob Fitzpatrick and Kevin Zabladil, except Craig A. Burns is Kevin's position this time as Kevin gets loose like Bob did. Wow, we've seen a lot of similar wrecks here tonight, Brendan.
Yeah, and it's just the trouble spots that are pretty typical for Phoenix. The exits of the corners, especially, it's just so tough there. Because especially when you're racing somebody, you know you need to get the run to be able to hold them off or maybe make the pass. So you get back to the gas just a little bit too early, and the car a lot of times really doesn't like that.
Oh, look at this strategy. Curtis Preston staying out. But you got Travis Everett and GT followed by, following Kevin Giadrich down. But a lot of lead lap guys not coming down. And I'm interested, GT, is he going to take his final set here? After only 10 laps on that one set. I think he has to take fuel here.
Yeah, I think this may be a play to take fuel to perhaps loosen up the car at a little bit of weight in the rear end.
He's taking tires.
Wow.
Interesting as we're near 30 to go here. GT coming down for maybe his final stop. It's going to be pretty much his final stop of the race. So he feels like from here on out, he is done pitting.
I think what he's getting at is that he has seen the guys on older tires and how long it's taken from experience the guys on fresh tires to get around and the gap that you can get just being in the lead. So he's banking on not pitting from here on out and hoping that the guys in the back that do take tires, they are faster than him, get held up just long enough that he can pull out a lead and hang on to it to the end.
Ooh, now the thing is though, Brandon, is they're pretty far back, but also these other guys a lot of guys have a set of tires left, so a lot of guys are going to pit. So that means Curtis Preston and Rush are not going to lose that much track position if they do get a caution here in the next 10 to 15.
Yes, which is really not ideal for GT. Travis is still in a pretty good spot with an extra set, but GT is. I think the way this works out is if it goes green. If it does not, then it's not looking too good. But we've seen it happen before. Guys have been able to hold off fresh tires and still secure the victory. So anything can happen, and it's not over until it's over.
It is not over, my friend. It looks like we're getting word that the 27 is having a brake pedal issue, so he's parking it for the night. Marc-Andre Thibodeau. So unfortunate for him. But we need to run to a sponsor break here, as we need to shout out our sponsors here at the RSR Cup Series here. As always, the primary sponsor here is Or Nissan Central, the Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City. And remember, you can go check out their website at www.ornissancentral and go check out what they have in store for you there. Remember, also brought to you by Sheffield Graphics. They specialize in sim racing paint schemes as well as team logos and race posters. They do not charge for the work. They only ask for a donation to the Folds of Honor charity. So you can go find the link to donate directly to the Folds of Honor charity on the Facebook Graphics Facebook page. So go check out Sheffield Graphics to get some graphics done for your iRacing needs. So great stuff there. And also give a shout out to ButtKicker, Phil, what you've been missing, as they are a sponsor here at the Freaky Fast and the RSR Cup Series, as we're getting ready to go back green flag racing. Remember to go check out ButtKicker at ButtKicker.com to see their products there, as we now head down the pit road with that pace car. Randy Cornwell going to lead us back to green flag in the air. Randy Cornwell takes off. And remember now, back in the 17th and the 18th position for Travis Everett and GT Rosario, as they're about to try to work their way up here, as Curtis Preston putting the pressure on Randy Cornwell here for the lead as they go down the dog leg into turn 3 and 4.
I think, based on what we've seen all night, these two in the back here, Travis Everett and GT, they've just got to hope that they can stay out of trouble. They may not win the race with this strategy, but they're definitely not going to have a chance if they end up on the hook.
And look at this here as they're working their way through. They got Kevin Ruff directly ahead. Here comes Travis Everett on the inside. Kevin Ruff. Travis Everett was able to get ahead of GT through this traffic, and he's now positioned himself ahead So marching his way through. The thing is, here now with 25 to go, do they have enough time if this thing stays green, Brandon?
That's the biggest question, and that's I think what's been on their mind is, you know, exactly how long is it going to take to get back through the field on these fresh tires? Because realistically, all the guys in front of them, their tires aren't that old. So the speed difference is not severe enough that they're just going to be able to, you know, lump in, you know, a handful of passes every single lap.
Oh, and Travis Everett gets checked up there behind that number 22 Harold Watkins. Now side by side between him and GT. Can he make the pass coming here off of 2? Looks like Travis Everett going to have a run. They're going to go to the inside of Harold Watkins here as they make the pass. Harold's going to let him go by there as the 14 and the 20 and the 59 here battling their way through the field, trying to march their way to the front as they got a championship on the line.
Really good job by Travis Everett, you know, getting checked up there and avoiding the contact, not hurting the car any more than it already is. But even with the damage he's got, he's still got really good pace, as we've noted. But I think right now this kind of is favoring Curtis Preston in the 29. I'm just not sure unless they get a lot more cautions to kind of reset the field and close up the gap on a lot of these guys that need to make up ground. I just don't think there's going to be enough time.
Enough time will be the question for sure, as Curtis Preston now pulling away, and you can see Matthew Rush there in the third position on the back of Randy Cornwell, trying to march his way into that second position to maybe run that 29 down for a chance at championship, as the 59 and the 14 continue to cut their way through the field.
Yeah, I think we're going to see GT and Travis just throw caution to the wind here and just push these tires to the very limit. They've made up a good amount of time, but Curtis Preston is just so fast right now, especially not being held up by traffic, turning laps that are a tenth or more quicker than the rest of the field right now.
He is on his way as Rush is now able to make the pass for second. Here, look at Travis Everett getting the run on Schrittenthal as he is slicing his way through. I tell you what, if it stays green all the way to the end, I think Everett and GT got a chance at this to run him down. I think the biggest thing Curtis wants to see is here to run to about 10 or 15 to go and get us a caution.
Yeah, I don't know if Travis might decide to take his last set of tires then, but it's going to be a lot better for him to get through the field just because everybody's going to have a lot older tires compared to himself. But honestly, I think if I'm Curtis, I might just stay out. And just bank on the fact that they're not going to be able to get through the field quickly enough.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Here it is, yellow with 19 to go. Our 12th caution of the evening, brought to you by Ward Nissan Central. And look, Travis Everett able to make it all the way to 5th with GT up to 7th. Those two were slicing through the field here as we go back on the Freaky Fast replay and check out what happened here as we see. Looks like this is involving the 22 Harold Watkins, and I believe I don't think there's numbers on the side of that door. Looks like Anthony Younes in the 54 as you see these two getting into it and bringing out our 12th caution of the evening. Now, Brandon, do you come down and get your final set? I think you have to, man.
I don't want to be left at the end of this race with a set in the pits that I could have used. If you're Matthew Rush, I think you do. Travis Everett looks like he's going to elect to come in. Obviously, GT not, but still, there's not that many laps on these tires for the guys that are staying out.
Wow. This is interesting. Preston and Rush decide not to come down with Travis Everett electing. I think Everett might have made a mistake there, Brandon.
We won't know until it's over, but I like I said before, I just don't think there's enough laps on these tires, and especially with GT. I just don't think GT's going to be able to get to the lead. I think here with how close everybody is, it kind of negates the gap that the 29 had. So the amount of time that Travis is going to give up through traffic compared to GT. Barring another caution to get it close, he's going to have a very hard time.
Ooh, I think he should have followed if Curtis Preston and Rush came down. I think you try to get on their same strategy, and then leave it to GT to be on his. But now it is very, very interesting to see how this is all shaking out here at the ISM Raceway as we are about to be 15 to go here. That's the thing. If we get another quick caution, I think. Do you pit now? I think GT might be sitting in a very good position in that 5th position now with the newest tires.
You very well might be right. It's about 12 lap difference for GT to Curtis Preston and Matthew Rush. I feel like 20 laps is about the last time. So Travis Everett is a little bit underneath that. I feel like Curtis and Matthew are kind of in the bed that they've made. They're just gonna have to lay in it now and hope that they can hold on and get a little bit of extra life out of these tires and maybe hold off GT or Travis Everett should he get back to the front and they get a caution that kind of bottles everybody back up again.
Everett's going to restart in the 14th position here. How tough do people make it on him as he gets through here? That's the question, really, in my opinion.
If I'm Travis, I am hoping that these guys recognize, hey, I'm got the fresh tires. I'm fighting for a champion. You guys need to get out of the way.
Man, the strategy has really been the telltale sign of tonight. I think that's what's going to come down to the end. I mean, you got Preston and Rush here on the front row, GT in 5th, Travis Everett in 13th. It's about to show what they have here down at the very end here as we get ready to head to the restart zone for possibly the final time.
Oh, the intensity. It's palpable.
Everybody out there in chat, tell us who you got winning the championship here as we're gearing to go. Green flag racing. It's back in the air. Curtis Preston takes off with Matthew Rush fighting side by side with Nathan Campbell as they head down to turn 1. Rush sends it in there.
Big checkup to avoid running over the 18.
GT fighting the 18 there up to the 4th position now. How does it all shake out here? Man, Travis Everett going around the outside of some guys. He is slicing his way through in the 59. Look at this. The 59 is coming, guys.
Yeah, and the good thing is on these fresh tires, you can be a lot harder on the throttle. Whereas you saw later in the run, that type of move surely would have got him way out of shape. He's absolutely using these tires for all they're worth. If they're not showing the cords at the end here, I don't think he's going to be happy.
13 to go, coming to 12 to go. This time, look at him go to the inside of Kevin Ruff here, trying to make the pass to move himself up into the 8th position. Travis Everett making the late race charge here in this 59 on brand new Goodyear tires. Let's see if he can do it, guys, as we're right on the front bumper here as he's closing in. And we had Kevin Ruff there make a little mistake there, get off the groove and slide down the racetrack here. Here comes the 59. The 15 moves out the way. And see, this is the thing, man. If the guys start moving out of the way, knowing he's coming with a head of steam, it could get pretty spicy here as GT's now up to the 3rd position past Nathan Campbell. So our top 3 all contenders, and Travis Everett is coming with the fastest lap of the race. Look at him driving the wheels off this thing.
Yeah, he is just full send, just as aggressive as he possibly can. And I don't know if he's going to want a caution and reset this, because he's got him pretty well in his sights. But that gap to Curtis Preston in the lead right now is pretty severe. And as we're coming to 10 laps to go, it's a matter of time now. I'm sure if he gets anybody in front of him that might look like he's going to get held up, there might be a little bit of contact to get him out of the way.
2/10 faster the last time by. If he's 2/10 faster each lap, he will get there. As he's by Kevin Jadricic, now Nathan Campbell, is we will have our top 4 in the top, or our final 4 in the top 4 once he gets past Nathan Campbell here. And the caution is out with
There's the caution
to go. Wow. Now, what do you do, Brandon?
I mean, you absolutely cannot pit.
I do not either. I really don't think you can, man.
I I feel like this might just be Travis Everett's race. The best thing that was going for Curtis and the rest of these guys was the gap that they had. They were forcing Travis Everett to really drive the wheels off that thing, and now they're all going to be bunched up, and Travis Everett is going to have the inside on a car, especially that's a bit slower than him in the 52 on the older tires. So he's not going to have to fight around the outside on this restart. I think GT, Matthew Rush, and Curtis are in trouble.
He was down some really quick laps, and you seen there on Warren Nissan Central Freaky Fast replay there. Man, that caution was wild as between Kevin Ruff there and Anthony Younes, as Anthony Younes went flying in that 54. Oh, Rush hitting pit. Oh man, I don't. With that is an interesting call. That puts Travis Everett up to third now.
And still with the inside line advantage.
I don't know about that call from Rush because so many people are staying out here. I think Rush is going to slide back almost to the 20s here as we got 21 cars on the lead lap, so he'll be near the tail here, probably around 15th or 16th, and I don't think there's going to be enough laps unless he gets multiple green, white checkers here.
Yeah, he's going to have to hope to gain a lot of positions on restarts and have just consecutive cautions. Grant, these tires are quite a bit older than what GT and Travis have had to drive through on. So he's going to have a little bit more speed, but that also just opens up the door for him to have to check up and lose a lot more momentum to avoid running into these guys.
So we're getting word that Travis took 7 laps to get to the 4th position. Now, that's gonna be a tough thing to do. He's going to need a green, white checker, in my opinion. The biggest thing I'm looking at for Rush here is he's in the 17th position instead of where Travis restarted in 13th.
This is where it all gets crazy. The entire season comes down to this. If you're Matthew Rush, if this doesn't work out, I think you can take solace in the fact that you did absolutely everything you could and put yourself in the absolute position on the freshest tires to give yourself a chance.
Our producer is having a nervous breakdown, and we got Jerry Mueller out there saying it's going to be a good race to the finish. His pick is Everett, and I tell you what, Everett, they're starting in 3rd. Whew. I'm interested to see how this all shakes out. Remember, these guys are going to be teammates next season. Is a paper shredder coming into factor?
It very well might be. The advantage here, Preston gets to restart. He's going to pull out quite a big gap, and if GT can time it just right, he's going to be able to close the door and not let Travis get to his inside going into 1.
4 to go, and we take the green here as these guys line up for possibly the final time in 2020 for their RSR Cup Series. Man, oh man, let's see who can bring home that Sheffield Graphics Race Winner Award. And I'm telling you what, I think whoever does that is going to be your champion here as the pace car pulls in this time. And we're going to have possibly 1 green flag start here as Curtis Preston takes off and leads us to the green. Oh, GT making the move to cover off Travis. Here they go down to turn 1. Does Travis use the bumper? Doesn't get there. I tell you what, Curtis Preston sitting in a good spot here as they come off a 2 down to the dogleg.
Very bold move by GT to cover off that inside, and Travis came in with a head of steam and really had to get out of it to avoid running over the 14.
And Everett the pressure on GT here at the end with 2 laps to go. Everett makes the pass, slides in front of the 14. Can he get to that number 29 here before the end of this as they go down the dog leg, down to 3. They'll be coming to 2 to go next time by as the yellow is out. And I think Matthew Rush, I think he made it to around the 12th position here, as we will be under our green white checker, and you could possibly have 2 attempts at this now with Travis Everett restarting in that 2nd position.
Now, Curtis Preston, he has the advantage for controlling the restart. He has to hope that if these guys are going to wreck, they're going to have to do it quickly, get these green-white checkers out of the way, and hope that he can pull out enough of a gap, not make any mistakes, to where Travis Everett cannot close in the gap on him by the time that they get back around to take the checkered flag.
There you see on our Ford Nissan Central caution here on the Freaky Fast replay there, you see Ryan Ezel just lost and got head first into the wall and brought out our green-white checker caution here. I tell you what, Preston probably did not want to see that as he was going to be coming to 2 to go. And it's going to be wild.
I can't handle this. It's too much.
It's too much. Yeah, thinking back, I can't think of an elimination style race I've done, or broadcast that we've done here on Freaky Fast with this. So I don't, and even Robert up here is telling me he does not believe we have, because I can feel the energy out here, and it is my hands are sweating. 26 weeks led up to this point here, guys. That's amazing. And your top 3 all championship contenders, Matthew Rush up to that 12th position as he pitted. I'm sure he might be kicking himself after this race for making that pit, but I think he knew it is possibly his only shot, maybe.
That would have to be my thought process. He didn't feel like he had enough speed to really challenge Curtis where they were running for the lead. So just, you've got that set and you've been saving it for an occasion just like this. Use it. If it doesn't work out, you tried, and that's the biggest thing. You threw everything you had at it, and even though you came up short there, that there wasn't anything left that you could have done.
Ooh, as we should see the pace lights go out next time as you cross the line. Remember how a green-white checker works out there for everybody at home. You take the green. The next flag you take after that will be the Sheffield Graphics white flag. And then from there, it is an official race. So we will race back to the checkered flag. If we get a quick caution here before that white flag comes out, then we will have one more attempt at that green-white checkered. And I tell you what, Curtis Preston says, can we get this thing over with, please?
Yeah, I've never raced and had a green-white checkered for these kind of stakes, but running to win a race alone, having to deal with green-white checkers is anxiety-inducing enough. I can't imagine how these guys are feeling right now. I know Travis Everett, his main focus is going to be trying to time that restart as perfectly as possible. He cannot let Curtis Preston get that big of a jump.
Got to get the restart of your life here as we head down to the dog leg to attempt green-white checker number 1 here at the RSR Cup Series at the Evolution Racing League. Man, oh man, the intensity is cranking up here as these guys roll through 3 and 4. And this is for all the marbles. This is everything right here. Who's going to be your champion as the pace car will take the left-hand turn, and we will get ready to head green flag racing. And look at that great start there from the 29. Everett tries to cover off GT, but cannot do it as they go down to 1 and 2. Let's see what happens here as they go off of turn 2. Travis Everett trying to fight back on GT and that 14. Curtis Preston, what a great restart of his life as they head down to 3 and 4. And this next time by, they will take the Sheffield Graphics white flag as Travis Everett tries to close in at 59.
He's got the tires a little bit loose there.
Little loose white flag in the air, brought to you by Sheffield Graphics as we head for one final time here in 2020 at the RSR Cup Series as Curtis Preston tries to become Euro Cup champion here as they head off a 2 down the dogleg one final time. Travis Everett not within reach here with GT right behind. Man, oh man, what a race we've had here tonight as Curtis Preston has one final corner, and Curtis Preston is going to be your RSR Cup Series champion here in 2020. Man, oh man, what a race we had here, guys. And congrats to Curtis Preston, your champion here tonight in that number 29. What a playoffs he had. What a season he had. What a season for all these guys. That was one hell of a show.
And Matthew Rush up to 7th position on those fresh tires. A very, very valiant effort from him. Just came up a little bit short, but got to be happy with being able to gain that many positions. Just a couple laps more, and he would have been right up there with him. But great job by Curtis coming out here and pulling a great strategy, deciding to stay out and challenge those fresh tires.
What a strategy it was. He did not fold, and he held on to this thing from the very end. Oh, let's get a little help there. We're going to put that thing in the museum, man. Come on, don't beat it up, Travis. I think it was some awesome love there as Curtis was sitting to the wall there. But, man, that right there, guys, is what it's all about in sim racing. I can't allude to you enough what it feels like to win a championship, as I've only done it one time in all the league racing I've done here on iRacing, and there's nothing like it. There's no greater feeling. And the way he won it, that's the ultimate way. As man, congrats to Curtis Preston again as he pulls it around the racetrack this time. There's David Edwards' teammate at Slide Job Races. They also bring home the team owner championship. There's teammate GT who fought a valiant fight all night there. And just came up a little bit short there, finishing in the 3rd position as these guys celebrate down the front straightaway. And we'll see if this 29 is going to get ready to do him some post-race celebration burnouts or what he decides to do. Because I'm sure there's an excited number 29 right now at this racetrack. And we will head to a break here for one moment as we get our top 3 finishers in our waiting room. All right, we're back here, ladies and gentlemen, with the RSR Cup Series, and we're about to get a talk in here with our final 4 drivers here in the championship. And the first one to start off tonight is Matthew Rush there and unfortunately bringing it home in that 7th position, just coming up a little bit short, trying something a little bit different to the guys there. But man, oh man, what a season he had. Let's see what his thoughts are on his 4th place finish here in the point. Hey Matt, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yeah, Zach, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Well, unfortunately, it came up just a little bit short tonight, man. You Final Four guys were on it all night. Y'all were really the class of the field out here, and it really showed the preparation you guys put into this week and just how much it meant for you guys to be in this. Made a little bit of different strategy calls than these other guys. Unfortunately, it didn't work out probably the way you were hoping it for, man, but you were able to bring it home in that 7th position here tonight. How was the racing?
Oh, man, it was good. Those top 3 are fast. I knew I had to do something different at the end. I had Travis and GT breathing down my neck on a little fresher tires. I wasn't going to be able to hold them off, so had to take a swing at it. I knew I had a lot of ground to cover, not a lot of laps to do it. Just ran out of laps.
Yeah, unfortunately, the laps were not there, my friend, as like you said, just running out of laps here tonight. But that number 11, hey, man, you showed great pace all night, and it was a heck of a 2020 season for you. Now we head off into the holidays, and we'll get ready for 2021. What's the thoughts going into 2021? Because we got a big season coming next season here in the Cup Series.
Looking forward. Just got to stay focused. Just a lot of fast guys, so just trying to get prepared and be ready to go. I'm going to take a little bit of time off here, decompress over the holidays, and be back at it after the first of the year.
Well, congrats, man, on making the Final Four, first of all, as you had an excellent playoffs and an excellent season here at RSR Cup Series. So congrats on that, first of all. But before we let you go and decompress for a little bit, anybody wants to shout to?
Yeah, first off, just congratulations to Curtis for the win, and just the other GT and Travis, the top 4, man. They were some good competition. Just appreciate Ryan and everything those guys do for this league, and y'all with you guys do a great job in the booth. It's an awesome league, and looking forward to season 2.
Awesome stuff, Matt. We'll catch you there in 2021, man. You have a great holidays, and we'll catch you in 2021.
You do the same. We'll see you.
All right. Yep. Later, Matt. That was Matthew Rush there in the number 11 machine, bringing it home in the 7th position there, 4th in your championship standings. So congrats to him. He had a valiant fight all night, running that top 4, fighting with these guys all night long. Just came up a little bit short on a different track. As now we'll move on to GT himself there in the 3rd position for Slide Job Racing. Just coming up a little bit short too, man, but he put on one hell of a show all night, and let's see what his thoughts are. Hey, GT, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, man, well, not the way you wanted to finish, man, but I tell you what, you can look back at this season and say it was one hell of a season, that's for sure, because, team taking home the team owner championship, that's awesome to see there for Slide Job Racing. Your teammate taking home the championship. I know you'd like to be in that position, but, man, you guys were just all the top 4 were just going at it the whole night. How was the racing? And, just explain to us that.
Well, it was fun. We had a fast, car, even though I told you it's not my favorite place, but I told you guys the other night, I said, I figured out a different line there, which worked out. But I made a bonehead move with probably, 30-something laps to go before we went in and took that last set of tires, and I hit the wall coming off of 2. And when I hit it, and then we went in after that, I actually had about 18, 19 seconds that I couldn't fix. So I just try to hold on. And I was excited to get, to have that. Well, Travis ain't teammate yet, but he will be this coming year. But have us finish 1, 2, 3. It was a lot of fun. That was a well-deserved race for Curtis. But the funny thing is Sheffield was asking us if we enjoyed racing on the team, and we were like, yeah. And he says, good, don't wreck each other because you won't be here next year if you do that.
Yeah, definitely. We were questioning up here. I've raced my teammates before, and I say, sometimes you race them harder than you race the other competition, just because they can take that little bit more and give and take there. So great racing between you guys all night, and like you said, Travis moving over to the team next season. So big things to come for the future of you guys. That's the next thing, man. 2021. Do you think you can come back here and possibly be sitting in the position that Curtis is in?
Well, I hope we got to get a repeat, but just to jumble up the top 3 or top 4 a little bit. It's the thing with with us is we learn off of each other. You know, and you know, somebody asked me, they're like, man, you know, what do you do to practice with? I was like, well, you know, over the years, I just try to run against people that are faster than me, you know, and just maintain with them and learn off of them. And you know, I try to learn all the time. So I've learned a lot from Travis. I've learned a lot from Curtis. You know, but you know, the important thing is we've had a lot of fun, man. And you know, yeah, I'm excited for next season.
Well, awesome stuff, man. We always enjoy having you up here, man, and getting to talk to you and seeing you run these amazing races. You guys put on one hell of a show each and every week. We've enjoyed it to the very end. Anybody want to send a shout out to you before we let you get ready for 2021, man?
Yeah, man. Ryan, for putting us on. I mean, hell of a job. I mean, it's a lot of fun out here, and I always thank the guys on the track. I mean, they're very respectful, and they make it fun. Not only is it challenging, but it's fun, you know, and that's very important. I mean, you can't find a better place to race like this where you can come out here and shoot the crap with everybody and still race hard. And if you knock somebody out of the way, you just simply say sorry, and they're on, you know, moving on. I want to thank you guys as always for coming on board as well. It's always a pleasure having you. Got to thank my teammates, and a big welcome aboard to Travis starting next season as well. I mean, like I said, we work and we learn off of each other. And hell, I couldn't have picked a better group to try and learn things from. So really, that's it, man. I'd say look out for Slide Jobs Racing next season because we're going to be a threat again.
You definitely are, my friend. You definitely are, as always. And congrats on the third place finish here tonight, man, and having a great season overall here in 2020. You have a great holidays, and we'll catch you in 2021, GT.
Yeah, I mean, y'all have a good Thanksgiving. Appreciate it. And I know you're kind of upset. You can still go take a shot of Jack. I know if I won, you could, but you can still go take a shot of Jack. It's okay.
Hey, we'll do it together, buddy. Thank you, man. And you have a great night.
For me.
All right, you heard it there from GT. Great interviews as always from that guy. He's one hell of a driver there in the Busch Light number 14. And I tell you what, man, the 59 put on a valiant effort tonight at Travis Everett. He went through really an up and down cycle. He played some strategy calls, and he almost made it work out. He really did. That 59 was very tough. I think if he wouldn't have got maybe some cautions, he could have been the man. Maybe he's our champion. And I tell you what, it's just so close between these guys. We'll have to see what Travis's thoughts are on getting second here tonight. Hey, Travis, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. We got you, bud.
Hey, Travis, man. Well, one heck of a race for yourself, man. I tell you what, it was an up and down roller coaster all night. You know, running in that top four with the final four pretty much all night. Then you had that little setback there where you guys were on a different strategy than a few other cars, you know, taking tires at the beginning of stage one, and it seemed to put you back there a little bit farther in the field, and just got a little bit of contact there from one of the fellow competitors out there, and it sent you around, but you were able to rebound, man, and challenge for this championship. It was one of the best tries we've seen all season, and man, just coming up a little bit short, but how was it out there overall tonight?
Well, it was a blast. I figured there at the beginning that it was going to come down to twin fours, just the way we were running, and everybody kind of pulled away. And then, like I said, strategy played out. I got shuffled back a little bit there and had a little bit of contact, and I pretty much thought the night was through then. Can't believe we got back up there the way we did. We had about 50 seconds worth of damage there, and I thought we killed the right front, but ended up playing out for us there, having an extra set of tires at the end, just one spot short.
Yes, man. One spot short it was, unfortunately. You know, coming down to the end there, you were in the position, you were ahead of GT there, but when you went down for your final pit stop there after about 10 laps there we had from your last pit stop. You know, at that point, how for sure were you on pitting, or, you know, because I personally sitting up here, I thought Curtis was going to pit with that extra set of tires, but then when I seen you dip off pretty much, you know, to fall back to that 13th position, I thought there was no way you were going to get all the way back up there, man. But you definitely charged back up there and put down some, you know, the fastest laps of the race, really, in that 59. You know, what was the thought there with, I believe it was at least 15 to go?
Yeah, I figured had one set left, may as well just go ahead and use them and see what happened. Knew we had the damage there. We were already going to be at disadvantage, and just hoping that it would pay off there to have the fresh tires versus the damage. But like I said, just one spot short. And congratulations to Curtis. He ran a hell of a race. GT, Matthew, everybody done a great job this season. It's been a blast.
Hey, it's been a blast for us up here in the booth too, Travis. So thank you guys for putting on a heck of a show each and every week. We've had a great time up here. Now we go into 2021. Now we got a big season coming up in the Cup Series here, and we're glad to be coming back with you guys at Freaky Fast here to bring it to all the fans out there. In 2021, you move over to Slide Job Racing. What's the thoughts on that, and how do you think 2021 is going to play out for you?
I think they've showed they got a strong team all season, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Thankful for Kevin picking me up and bringing me on his team, and was hoping we could bring that championship home for him. But hopefully, be satisfied with second here. And I hate to say goodbye to him; he's been good to me. But looking forward to moving over to Slide Job Racing, and hoping we can learn a few more things along the way.
Awesome stuff, Travis, man. Well, congrats on second tonight and second in the points overall standings. Anybody want to send a shout out to before we let you go and get these holidays in?
Just want to thank Ryan and Sheffield and RSR, everybody here. Couldn't ask for a better group of guys here. Or Nissan, Sheffield Graphics, and looking forward to the 2021 season.
Awesome stuff, Travis, man. Well, you have a great holidays, and we will catch you in 2021.
Good to see y'all then.
All right. That was Travis Everett, your second place man here tonight. And now we move on to your RSR Cup Series champion, Curtis Preston. Man, what a playoffs he had. Let's see what his thoughts are on bringing home not only the Drivers' Championship at Slide Job Racing, but also the Team Championship. So those guys went, dual championships. That is awesome to see. Let's see what Curtis Preston's thoughts are. Hey, Curtis, welcome to the booth, man. You are the champion of the RSR Cup Series. You got a copy. Hey, Curtis, you there, man? You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do. How you doing, Zach?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I bet you're doing fantastic as you're able to bring it home here tonight, man, on top, win the race not only, but also bring home the driver championship here at the RSR Cup Series, man. Put that into words for us, and also bring home the team championship too for Slide Job Racing. So the double whammy here for you guys. How's it feel?
It feels fantastic, man. It's a great night for Slide Jobs Racing, that's for sure. To bring home the team championship, one of our drivers take the big cup home, and just look back at what it took to get here, and against the guys we had to race, man, the level of competition in this league is unreal. And I think that's what makes it sweeter right there, is who you had to outrun to get it.
It definitely is, man. I tell you what, you guys were battling all season long. The playoffs were so exciting. We were so glad to be able to join you guys in your playoff journey. And I tell you what, you definitely had to battle your way to get through there. And, shoot, you had to win a race there to get through one of the rounds. So that was, if that didn't happen, you wouldn't have been here. So that shows you right there. Every race matters, and you got to put yourself in those positions. But looking at tonight, Curtis, there at the end, you had a set of tires left. Was there any thought about going in as your teammate GT there, pit with about 30 to go?
Oh, absolutely. We were we came in and took that second set. I don't know, it was 20 laps into the last segment, something like that. We looked at our tire wear, and our tire wear was really good. So the track and rubber did good, and the tire wear was getting better, and track position just seemed like it mattered more. We came out there on new tires behind guys that were out on 30, 40 lap tires, and it took some doing to get around them. So I was like, man, fresh rubber, maybe it's cracked up to be. So we took a gamble. I don't know if I could have outrun GT on speed and Travis on speed. So we just tried to get off sequence and do something different. And it ended up working out, but we were on pins and needles the last 15 laps. I thought we had it tied up twice, and then the cautions kept coming out, and I was cussing a little bit. It ended up working out, man.
Yes, it did, man. Well, congrats on the championship. This has been an awesome season for you guys. 26 weeks this season. Now next year we head to 36 weeks in a season. And we're going to be happy to be here also at Freaky Fast Broadcast and bringing all the action here live on Freaky Fast. So what's the thoughts going into 2021? Do you feel like you could come back here next season and repeat?
That'd be a tall order, Zach. I mean, I've been here since the beginning, like a lot of these guys have, since we started this back in June, I think it was. And I've watched everybody around me get faster and faster and faster, and the competition gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And I think next year it'll be a tough road to hoe to come back and win another title. The competition is going to be unreal.
Oh yes, sir, it is. The competition is unreal here at RSR. You guys put on one heck of a show each and every week. It's a blast and a pleasure to be able to commentate y'all's guys' races each and every week, man. So I'm gonna miss them a little bit here through the holidays, but we'll be geared up, ready to go back in 2021. As we still got the truck series, so that'll be good. We still got some Evolution Racing League action. But man, oh man, congrats on the championship. Anybody wants to send a shout out to for this championship season?
Yeah, I got to thank you guys for being in the booth, man, for us. You guys took over, and I mean, you guys have done an unreal, amazing job. Really appreciate what you guys do week in and week out. I can't thank Ryan and Scott and Michael enough for what they do for Evolution Racing Leagues, and they run a league that is just top shelf. It's second to none. Got to thank the guys at SJR. Congratulations to everybody at Slide Jobs Racing for the team title tonight, and that's awesome. And I got some special hugs this evening before the race. My kids gave me some good luck hugs, and they worked. So my daughter here wants to say something.
Daddy won!
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, appreciate everybody. Thanks to everybody in this league that races in here week in and week out. It's a great group of guys, a ton of talent in here, and I think next year is going to be something special to see.
It definitely will, Curtis, man. Well, look, man, we got a while here before we come back in the Cup Series. You go celebrate the championship and have a great holidays, and we'll catch you next time, man.
Jim Beam's already on the rocks, fellas. Y'all enjoy the holidays. Be careful.
You too, champ. You heard it there, guys. That is your RSR Cup Series Championship moment there from, man, what a driver there, Curtis Preston. What a Final Four. What a group of drivers, first of all, we must say here at the Evolution Racing League. It's been a fantastic 10 race, or actually, I don't believe it was 10. I believe it was 8. Sorry, I'm used to 10 races in a playoff. But, man, what it's been here. Let's go to our official results for tonight's race. And we'll get our final thoughts here in a moment. As Curtis Preston here, bringing home the victory and your championship. Just shout out to Curtis. That is an awesome achievement to beat, exceptional competitors that he had to beat. So really great achievement there for him on the old tires. Second place there, just coming up a little bit short, is Travis Everett. Third is going to go to the GT in that number 14 machine, Busch Light. Fourth is going to go to Kevin Giadricic. Fifth, there is Zach Trittenthal, Brock Potter in the 6th position, Matthew Rush in 7th. 8th is going to go to Craig A. Burns, who is your non-playoff driver champion, technically. So shout out to Craig. He will also take home a $100 prize along with Curtis Preston for winning that, or having the most points of a non-playoff driver. So shout out to Craig there. What a season he had. 9th is going to go to David Edwards. 10th is Nathan Campbell. 11th is Randy Cornwell. 12th is going to be Kevin Zabladil. 13th is Adam Buzzio. 14th, Andrew Little. 15th, Tony Ludi. 16th will be Nolan Potter. 17th, Harold Watkins. 18th is David Hall. 19th is Anthony Younes. 20th is Kevin Ruff. 21st is Ryan Ezel. 22nd, Bob Fitzpatrick. 23rd is Michael Martino. 24th will go to Marc-Andre Thibodeau. 25th, Michael Sheffield. 26th is Junior Miller. 27th is Matt Upbrook. 28th, rounding out your field here tonight, is Chad Biesinger. And man, what a season we've had here on the Freaky Fast broadcasting here at the RSR Cup Series. It has been amazing to bring it to all y'all. This race was exceptional, and I can't wait to go back and watch it all over again. Brandon, what's your thoughts, man? Because what we've seen right there was beautiful.
Yeah, it was an exceptional playoffs. Came into the season a little bit late, but had a blast every single race. Coming into Phoenix here, didn't know what to expect, but they put on an amazing show like they do week in and week out. Congrats to Curtis again for his win of the championship for RSR, and congrats to everybody that was in the playoffs this season. Not everybody made it to the Final Four, but it was an outstanding effort. And I can't say enough. It was just amazing. And I'm excited to come back for 2021 and watch it all over again.
It definitely was, man. I can't thank everybody enough out there for tuning in as each and every week, giving us the support. Each of the drivers out there giving us their kind words of support for us, broadcasting. It's really been heartwarming. Also, shout out to Curtis Preston's family there. That was a pretty cool moment for his daughter there. That was heart melting, as I would say. So, man, what an overall season. It's been great. Especially in the tough year of 2020. And also, please, everyone, before we get out of here too, please go down there and check out the link down there for the GoFundMe for Daniel Gonzalez, because that is very important here at the RSR Cup Series. We must stress that it's a big family here, and we're all rooting for you, Daniel, especially through these holidays where it can be very tough. So make sure you please go check that GoFundMe out. But now for the grand finale, we want to send it up to the man, Robert Moyer Jr., to close it out here for the RSR Cup Series in 2020.
Thank you very much, Zach. Wow, what a great show by all the drivers here at RSR and Evolution Racing League. Like Zach said and Brandon said, thank you for letting Freaky Fast be a part of this league and watching the action week in and week out on Monday nights, Tuesday nights. Man, oh man, what a race, guys. Great calling. What a battle. Congratulations to the champion here. Wow. It was amazing to watch this battle and the way these guys ran it out here tonight. But hopefully everybody else out there enjoyed it too. Out there in Facebook and YouTube, we do much appreciate the sport like Zach said, and Brandon will agree with that. But before we get the head off too, like you said, Zach, please make sure you check out the GoFundMe. If you cannot donate $1, well, we understand. We get it. It's 2020 has been a crappy year for a lot of people, and we're going to try to finish this off strong, guys, and get ready for the 2021 season with these guys and other leagues that we got coming up here at Freaky Fast. We'll be all starting in here at the end of December into January, so make sure you check out our Facebook page for all the updates and images and what we have in store for 2021. But last but not least, I want to say, everybody, please have a safe holiday. Enjoy it. Thanksgiving, Christmas is coming up. But until then, we want to say God bless everybody. We do love you all. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.